Welcome, welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. I am so excited for this live stream tonight. I wanted to welcome those of you who have been here before. Welcome back. And if you are new, welcome. Again, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Carrie Koss. I am a psychic medium, and on my channel, I do a variety of readings and I love doing, I do usually channeled messages, often, hello, Emma, happy new year, and often connected in with, what I'm picking up on from my guides. And also I work in the Akashic Records a lot. So I love channeling messages that come through for your growth, for your healing, and also just things that connect you in a deeper way to your spirituality on a daily basis. Happy New Year, you guys. I'm so excited to be here. I'm really excited about tonight's live stream, you guys, because tonight we're actually going to be doing a forecast reading for every sign. I'm very organized. We're going to go through each quarter. And so I just wanted to let you know, hello. I'm so excited about this. So tonight I'm actually just completely focusing on YouTube tonight. I'm really excited. I sat down to meditate about an hour ago, and I channeled for every single zodiac sign, which I was surprised. Not that I channeled during it, but I was like, okay, let's go. So here's what I would like you guys to do. A couple things. First of all, I just want to thank you for being here. Next, it would be so helpful if during the live stream you make sure to give the live a thumbs up and you comment. That helps my channel a lot. And if you're new, please subscribe. All of the readings tonight for every single sign will be time stamped, and that will be done by my time tomorrow morning. So don't worry if you have to dash out or you miss your sign, because it's going to be time stamped really clearly. And I've got everything very organized. So I'm very excited. We're just going to be focusing on this tonight. Not many of the times when I do my Fridays live streams, we do it, the format's a little bit differently. We add in more. And today we're going to be doing it just solely focusing on the zodiac signs and the 4 different seasons or quarters of the year. Now, that seems like a lot because we have quite a few readings, but the good news is that, like I said, it should probably be about 7 minutes per sign. Hello, Ray. Good to see you. Yay. That's right. I love what Ray says. This is a beautiful message. Hello, beautiful, like-minded people. Love is in the new year, 2026. Don't give in. We the people. Yes, we the people. That's such a beautiful message. Thank you for uplifting our chat and our community. Thank you for being here. I also want to let everybody know that in a little while, what I'm going to be doing, I have a little form. If you would like to put your name and email down, I am going to be drawing a winner at random after the live stream tomorrow morning. And then I'll announce it when I post the video for someone to win a 30-minute free reading with me tonight. I'm trying to give that back, and I just love connecting with so many of you. I would also say that I have a lot of exciting announcements in the back end. I've created so I've had a school for hi, Jennifer. That's okay. We're just getting started. So I've had a school for 4 years now. And so I'm having it now. I'm hosting it on the school platform, SKOOL. It's so efficient. It's a great way if you're interested in joining. Okay. Hello, Elizabeth. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Happy New Year. So it's perfect timing that you're all joining us because we're just getting started. Tonight we are really going to be just focusing on the astrology. We're going to be doing zodiac energy forecast for every sign for the entire year. Now, I was just saying, it sounds like a lot when you hear it, but here's what I want to say, that there'll be about 7 minutes each. I'm a very organized reader. We're going to be going through the quarters for each, for example, we're going to be doing, this winter quarter, January through March, and then spring quarter, April, May, June, right? And then we'll be doing late summer, fall, and then late fall, early winter for the rest of the year, because I think it's important that everybody has a benchmark and they can come back to this reading at any time and just say, wow, that really made sense. So when it comes to your sign, I would highly recommend jotting down notes. So here's something I want to say to you. I sat down about an hour ago now, and my guides right away said, get out a pen. We're going to channel a message for each sign. So that is how we're starting this reading, and is with a message. Now, as always, everyone, take what resonates. If it doesn't fit for you right now, release it. But I will say, because it's a whole year ahead, some of these things may really resonate at a later time. That's why it's sort of good to be able to tap in and just see. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to go through each of these, which we usually do here. Instead, we will be showing the sign. I'm going to be going through and going through each quarter, as I mentioned. And here's the thing. If any of the zodiac signs are your rising sign, your moon or your Venus, or you relate to maybe more of your sun, like something that's not your sun sign, but you relate to the zodiac sign for some reason, you never know what that could be. It could be your north node. Take it for yourself. Okay. So again, thank you for being here. Make sure that you're giving thumbs up and commenting a lot. That helps my channel. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe. And if you want to be in the running for, hang on a second. If you want to be in the running, I've got to put it in here. Hang on. For being able to get a free reading, please be sure to, I'm just going to post it right here. All right. So you guys be sure to fill out, put your name on this form, and then you'll be in the running, and I'll announce it tomorrow. You made it. Hooray. So I was just going to say, everybody, this is a document. If you're interested, I am doing a contest. I'm sorry, it's a long text header because I didn't have time to alter it slightly, the title. But put your name and your valid email address. I'm going to be doing a random contest, I guess you could say, or a drawing for someone to win a 30-minute reading with me. Okay. Who is ready? Drum roll, please. We are going to get started. I'm super excited about this, and I almost feel like I should have music on in the background, but we're going to get started. So one thing I want to tell you is if we look down, I may do that for part of the time. So just be aware of that. When I'm showing you cards, I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I saw another. Okay. Jennifer's like, I got my dinner. Okay. We're going to be starting with Aries, okay? And I'm going to lay out, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to lay out 2 cards for each quarter, and then we're going to focus on each quarter. And these readings are going to be about, they're going to be about 9 minutes each, 10 minutes. So stay tuned, buckle up. This is Aries. Here we go. So I'm just putting in guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, beings of light, and those who wish the highest good for Aries. All those who identify with being an Aries, sun, moon, rising. Done with the form. Good. I'm glad. We're going to see, what do we need to know for you for the energy forecast for 2026? What's the energy? What's for your highest good? What do you need to know? So let's get it going. So that's for January through March. All right. Then we have April, May, June. We have July, August, September. And then we have October and through December. Okay. All right. We've got that going. All right. We're going to turn over the cards at first and show you guys what we've got. I'm going to show you hope you guys can see that. Okay. I'm going to kind of link you up. So this is for the first quarter. Okay. And this is for Aries. So we have the King of Cups and the 8 of Cups. Very interesting energy for Aries for the first quarter. Okay, we'll start with that. I'll go in, not to make it too overwhelming. So let's just start with that. So these are the first 2 cards for you going into the new year. Aries. All right, let's take a little trip together. Here we go. All right. So the first thing I'm really feeling when I'm checking into this energy, you guys, for April, sorry, for April. Let me lighten this up. Hang on to just so you guys can see my screen. There we go. It's a little lighter. Okay. So this is Aries again. So the first thing that I think is, I want to say to you guys, I'm going to read to you what I wrote about Aries. I'll start with this when I channeled Aries energy. Are you ready for this? So this is, I have to say, I channeled something for each sign and from my guides. And then I also have the card. So it says Aries. Okay, take a breath. You don't have to barrel through as hard into your life as you usually do. More of what you want, you will be coming towards you. That's what I saw. There's an energy for you, Aries, and especially in this first quarter, of a feeling of being like the page, which is the page. If you know a little bit about tarot, is someone who has a learner's energy, and they don't rush things because they're taking in a lot of information. So not being like your usual Aries self, where you just bust through and do things without necessarily working it through. This is more about receiving, allowing energy to come towards you. Okay. So this is going to feel very different for you. You have always been the one who has done for others automatically. And a force, literally a force, which I believe is spirit, will be pulling you backwards, telling you not to take up as much space as you normally do, allowing others to do for you. Okay. This is what I'm seeing specifically, Aries first quarter. This is emotional maturity. This is being a little bit more sophisticated with like playing the long game, knowing that a lot of the things that go on in your life have nothing to do with you. So you're not taking it as personally as possibly you would before. You know, when we get to the point where we have the 8 of Cups, Aries, that means that we've done a lot already. We've invested a lot emotionally as well as in our relationships, and we're growing through that to another place. So there's a depth and maturity here I'm finding, Aries, that I think is really pleasant. Now, the astrology for 2026, you know, as you guys know, I'm studying astrology. I am not an astrologer. But it is very favorable for many people energetically. And so, Aries is no different in that scenario. It's just showing a little bit of, okay, let me take a look at this situation from many different lenses. I'm not going to just barrel in. That's the energy, especially of the first quarter. And here's the card that goes with this. Last quarter moon in Capricorn, leave the past behind. So maybe things that have triggered you in the past, Aries, are going to remind you of, I don't need to do that. I'll let someone else take care of that. Now's not the time for me to move forward. So that's the first quarter for Aries, which I think is a really significant, wonderful energy, if I do say so. All right, so let's go into the second quarter. This is for Aries again. So this would be April, May, June of 2026 for Aries. Again, here we have the Cups, Ace of Cups, the 7 of Wands. Okay, this is going into the second quarter of the year, so that you can tell already, you know, Aries energy is very much cup runneth over, a positive energy. Okay, I'm ready to go, right? I trust the little bit I've been given from spirit and I just go. But part of you is saying, wait a second, put up your boundaries. You don't have to be the one to overinvest in the situation. Let someone else do it for a change. So this is definitely a sense of like, okay, there's a holding back, there's an air of restraint, but not of being controlled or stifled. It's just more of, okay, I'm going to reflect on that. I'm going to do that. So that this is continuing for you. This is an air of just this wisdom that kicks in where you're much more compatible with your higher self is what I'm seeing. And you're enjoying that relationship because you feel like it's not going to burn you out, and that you will be able to escape some of the more difficult situations you've gotten yourself into in the past. So I think this is fantastic, Aries. Again, Aries, second quarter. Let's see what the oracle card is for Aries for the second quarter. See, we've got the Virgo energy coming in here. First quarter moon in Virgo, assess the situation. This is showing restraint. This is like a Saturn energy, right? Which is, okay, let me analyze this first before I jump in. This is like a balm really to Aries. And again, it's like one of those things when someone's very enthusiastic, when there's a lot of fire in someone's chart, you know, the last thing you want to try to do is to like throw water on that, you know, because water boils, as we know. And instead, it's more like, I wonder if we could just look at this a little bit differently, or oh, that's interesting. I don't think I'll approach it quite that way next time. So it's that sophistication, that level of pause, that emotional acumen, which is very, very apparent here in the second quarter of 2026 for our lovely Aries. Really liking that. It's like I've got this amount, and ace is always a seed of potential. It gives us an opportunity to say, there's a lot here emotionally. I'm just going to go for it. But the 7 of Wands is like, wait a second. Hold on a minute. Let me get my bearings and see what else is here. So this is very good. I really like that energy. Okay. And again, that goes along with the channeled message we got. Aries, third quarter. I'm really loving it already. This is spicy. Okay. So this would be then, so we have March, April, May. So then we have June, July, August. So we want to keep our eyes open in this part of the year. Okay. This is the third quarter for Aries because we have the moon card, and I'm going to channel a little, see what I'm getting. And then we also have the 5 of Swords. Okay. And the moon is basically, it's the sacred feminine, but it's also things we have yet to discover. It's things in the subconscious, which are raising up and lifting out. So we don't know all parts to situations. So there could be something a burr that might get under your blanket that might cause you to lose your patience. In some situation, I would be aware of if you have like a work situation, Aries, where possibly you tend to get a little ungrounded, or if you have maybe something with a sibling. I'm hearing this could be around like a family dynamic, a family trip or something. Just be aware of what will trigger you. Okay. Because it's transitional. It's going to be easy to get stuck in there. And so again, going back to our theme for you for 2026, Aries, having patience and grace, giving yourself space to evolve past that. Again, you're going into with the more mature part of you, that emotional acumen, which is like, okay, I remember Carrie said I can get triggered in the summer. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to like wait this one out. Okay. So be aware of that. That's going to be, again, the third quarter, which is around the summertime for Aries. Okay. Let's pull a card from the Moonology deck for you and see what we're getting. Here we go. First quarter moon in Cancer, push through any insecurities. So there's some water energy there, which would be set because that could be around that time of the year. So because of that's an energy, which would be also kind of in Cancer, which can be sensitive. So you want to be aware of what triggers you, Aries, what gets under your, under your blanket, if it's a burr. And what's your usual response, Aries? So being aware of that in the summer for sure is going to make a big difference in your outcome. So you also want to think, Aries, like, okay, if I get into a row with like my family or something, hello, oh my gosh, Kristen, that's good to see you. So if I get into a row, with like a family member or something, we're just starting with Aries. We're doing this. We'll get you all set. We're doing readings for the year. And if anyone has to like bop out, these are all good. This is going to be entirely time-stamped and uploaded to my YouTube channel tomorrow. If anyone has to like zap out, make sure you guys are subscribing as well as commenting and liking it as well. Michael, I was just thinking about you. Yesterday. So, okay, let's take a look at okay, right now, again, we are on Aries. So if you're in Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, this is for you. We are looking at each sign. We just started. We are going around, we're looking at it as a 4-quarter system for 2026. For each zodiac sign, I've channeled a message from the guides related to your sign. Take what resonates, and remember, write notes down about this so you can remind yourself, or also go back and record this. So this is the last quarter of 2026 for Aries. Look what we have here. Wow. Again, restraint is the key for Aries. Restraint, containment, sort of pausing before you jump into something. Look who came out today for this. The Knight of Swords, who is not very good at being patient and waiting, but coming up against the Hangman. The Hangman is associated, again, with a water sign typically, and the number 4, which is very much being at a stay. So this is what I'm saying. End of the year. This is your year for, I would say, self-reflection and pause, not to feel limited, Aries, but to be aware of the fact that it is not for your highest good to get into messy confrontations, and also to maybe not consider different aspects of different situations and not jumping right in, right? So this is what we're getting here with that Hangman, and then also the Knight of Swords, because the Knight of Swords is that energy wants to come in and fix everything, or spit something out verbally, or say their ideas, and it's always moving forward. But here's the thing, is that for your highest good? In the end, who are you trying to convince of your opinion? Does it really make a difference? Are you better off possibly refraining from saying anything? This is for Aries, the 4th quarter, and reflecting. And that is exactly what Spirit is saying. It goes back to the channeled message in the first place. It's like, you're better off stepping away from the table when this happens, Aries. So this is your year for the great pause. And in no way is it trying to repress your expression. It's just trying to put you in a place of like being in your higher mind. Okay, I'm going to pull you 2 final cards for 2026. So first of all, oh my God, I just can't believe how accurate this is. So we have the 1st quarter moon in Aquarius, which is trust the universe, right? Right next to last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. Oh my goodness, there it is right there. Talk less, feel more. That is, again, the level of restraint for Aries. Aries, you're going to have a great year. I'm excited for you. This is going to be incredible. Okay, I'm delighted. All right, how we enjoying this, guys? Again, let me remind you a little bit about what we're doing here. First of all, I'm so excited you guys are here. So many of you are here. And I want to tell everybody, if you stay around, I am doing tomorrow morning, I'm going to be, if you put your name and email address into this form, essentially you'll get on my email list, but this will be a small group. I'm giving away to one lucky winner a 30-minute private reading with me. You've got to get on that Google Doc. Sorry, the Google Doc's long. Here we are. I'm excited. Yay. Aries rising and Taurus moon. Yes, I love it. So there you go. Love a Taurus. Okay. So we're going to keep going. This deck has been feeling, I need to smoke this. Hang on. This, uno momento, please. I need to put a little incense on this. Just a second, friends. Give me a minute. So it's really important when you're Amber, what's really important if you are learning to read tarot, or if you work with energy and you're newer to it, or even if you just do it for yourself, be very aware of how things feel when you're working with tools or anything energetically. If something feels sticky, if something feels staticky, if it feels like you're not getting the connection you want, you need to cleanse. It's super important, because these are divination tools and people are processing and releasing energy all around these things when you, and I do a lot of healing work and cleansing work, right? So things are moving on all the time. And sometimes you need to, you get to a point with some of your decks, you've done so many readings. Hold that thought. That you do need to probably maybe I would say, I don't want to say necessarily recycle your tools, but you might need to like bring them back to the earth. Let's just put it that way. And part of that has to do with sometimes, it's just like anything else. It's a tool that's being heavily used. And sometimes you get to a point where you can't cleanse it anymore. So hang on a sec. Okay, and that was the case with this deck. It's been feeling like just sticky lately, but it's one of my best decks. Okay, let me come back to it. This is a selenite wand. Just want to make sure it's up and down the whole way. I feel like it's really doing its job, which I'm grateful for, but also I need to make sure it's cleansed. Okay, and we continue. All right, so let's go. All right, so now, guys, I also want to let everybody know I am teaching a mediumship class at the end of January, a 5-week mediumship class. I'll put the info on it on my page later. It's 5 weeks. It's an introduction to mediumship. That means you just really getting aware of your own energy, but then how spirit communicates with you. You're becoming aware of your clairs. And then you'll start learning to bring messages or connect with spirits and break through evidence. It's going to be a wonderful class. It's going to be Sundays, Pacific Standard Time at 4 p.m. It's going to be fantastic. So I'll give you guys more information about it later. Okay. Who is ready for Taurus? All right. So again, we're going to do this based on the 4-quarter or the wheel of the year. Oh, thank you. I love you, Emma. You are a brilliant, brilliant soul. And we got to do something together. Maybe we need to do some readings together. Let's talk about it. I adore you. Okay, here we go, guys. So again, we are now moving on to Taurus, and we're going to be pulling. I'm showing you guys what I'm doing. Just a second. So we're going to go in four quarters, January through the end of March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so I just want you guys, if you're Taurus, I want you to put your energy on this. We're going to do 2 cards per quarter, and then we'll also pull an oracle card. See, these cards are really snappy, but I love them. I'm going to keep using them. They're snappy. They're a transmuting tool. Okay, there you go. We're back on track. I can hear the ringing in my ears too. Taurus. Oh, we got a triple Taurus. We love a Taurus. I love my Venusian siblings because I'm a Libra. So here we go. All right, babies. Here we go. This is for my Taurans out there. The first quarter. Okay, let's see what we got. First quarter. I know this is a limited space, guys. I get it. I know there's just only a little area here. So we'll keep going. Second quarter. Okay, they want me to keep shuffling. Third quarter. Okay, so I just wanted you guys to see it. Now, before I do that, just so you guys know, hi, Chastity. Before I came on to the live stream, I channeled a message from my guides for each zodiac sign. Okay, guys? So I'm going to give you that message. All right. So I have to tap back in there and then we'll start with the reading. Here we go. Taurus, things are shifting for you this year. I became aware. So one thing I want you guys to be aware of is I do get physical medical information, and please, in no way is this meant to be a concern ever. It's mainly meant because I look at things first on an energy level. So sometimes things come through and it's mainly something passing through you, nothing ever to be concerned about, but it's usually leading you and it's energetically connected. So something to be sort of aware of. So things are shifting for you this year, Taurus. I became aware of your abdomen, and then I heard the word gastro issues. And here's what I'm hearing: things you have collected and inherited. It's your time to create space for health this year, Taurus. I'm hearing that you need to make room and letting go. This will take you further than you have thought you could go. I saw images of steps. Wow, they really came in. And here's what I want to say. Some of you this year might have issues with your mother. So that's what I'm hearing. And so if this comes up, it just could be something to resolve the mother wound or dynamics, whether your mother's alive or whether she's in the spirit world, learning to come to terms with that. Learning how to separate feelings that you have from her. You are ready to take some space and not care for your mom as much. Now, remember, your mother may be in the spirit world, but this is what I was getting for Taurus, is it's really time for you to be taking care of yourself this year. And that is part of the abdomen thing. I think if we think about our connection with our mothers, it's like a primal instinct. It's in the third chakra. So I want to just let you guys know about that and to take care of yourself. Okay. And I just wish you, a beautiful experience this year, which you will have. But remember, you are still growing and developing. Okay, Taurus, first quarter, January through March, we are getting the seven of this. To me is telling me to notice two things. Oh, sorry, the information's coming in really fast. I want you to notice how the Seven of Wands has a dealing with gastro issues with one of my twins who is a Taurus, and rising has a Taurus stellium. I know. I'll talk to you about that in a second, because I think that we can probably do some energy healing work, Mom, on that, Amber, which I think will really help. But it's very much connected to the third chakra, is the power center. Okay, hun? So 7, again, first quarter Taurus. 7 of Wands is about self-preservation, okay? And having a bit of a being on the defense in a good way. But also we have the Hangman here, which the Hangman is really saying, take a pause, take a rest, look around, let someone else do it. This is a test, okay? That's kind of what I'm getting for Taurus. So you want to be sure to, if you're a Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or a Venus, or a stellium, like Amber was saying, this is your time to focus on yourself and your health and your well-being. And also don't worry if what other people are saying to you, if they're pressuring you, or if you think you should behave in a certain way, that does not matter. That's really what I'm getting, Taurus, that you have to stand up for yourself and really take your well-being seriously. And if you're on the end of you're the parent of a child who is a Taurus, certainly then that would take it from whatever feels right for you. But that would look something like standing up for them and saying, that's not going to work for them right now. We're approaching it this way. Okay. So in this case, if you're the mother, especially if you're the mother, not just you, but if you're the Taurus and you had a mother, the mother would have said something like this: oh, just do it. Don't worry about it. You can think about it later. You want to be a good person. You see what I'm saying? So that I want to be a good person can literally mess with your health and sabotage your well-being and make you not listen to yourself, right? So we want to be sure to if it's us and we're the Taurus, or if we have a child as the Taurus, then we're saying, take all the time you need. You don't need to have your rules of the external rules of the world do not apply here. We are not doing that because that's not for this child's, or that's not for my best interest. Does that make sense? So that came in loud and clear for a message. Hello, Linda. Welcome. Happy 2026. Okay. So here we go. We're doing Taurus. We're doing 4 quarters of the year for each sign. And I've also channeled a message for each sign that resonates with you too, Elizabeth. I'm so glad it makes sense. So I channeled a message from my guides. That's a first. I'm like, okay, great. Let's do it. And then we are looking at each quarter for each sign. Okay. So if you are getting like I know Linda is, if you're getting a reading with me for a year ahead reading, this will be similar to what I'm going to give you, but more in depth because it's for you. Okay, here's the card. You're getting the Oracle card for this particularly. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. Listen to this. Reveal what needs to be seen. Now that would make so much sense as we are talking about not just abiding by other people's rules and regulations. This is really about Taurus, you trusting yourself and standing up and saying, no, I'm not doing that. Understanding that this is a very much an issue of the third chakra, which is connected to the your gastrointestinal. Okay, third chakra, power center. This is the third chakra here. Very hard to see because it's all wood, but it's literally the power center, and it does open and close. And if you're not standing your power, it will start to shut down. Therefore, it can mess with your intestines. Okay, this is Taurus. We're going into the second quarter, friends. All right, second quarter is April, May, June. Look at what we have here. Page of Wands, Queen of Cups, beautiful combination of energy, because the page is really coming out a lot for many of you this year. And I think it's the page in different placements. And I think it's because a lot of people are going to start breaking out and doing things and learning things or growing in new directions in their lives. So that could mean you specifically starting a whole new path. Maybe you're retiring. Maybe you're changing your career. Maybe you're moving. Maybe you're ending a long-term relationship, right? You're starting something new. And so what we know about wellness and balance, what we can probably say about this and surmise is that during this process, as we are learning, like the page does, about what they're passionate about how to grow that passion and do something with it that's in alignment. Hi, Amy. Happy New Year. Good to see you, my love. We are on Taurus, so you haven't missed you yet. So we just started this, okay, just before this with Aries. So this is you again, Taurus, coming up with having emotional maturity, realizing that if you're starting something new, and you are moving in a new direction, or if you're wanting to nurture something, you're going to, again, be a little more protective over yourself and really consider, okay, I'm going to treasure this. I'm going to cherish this. I'm not going to just give it up at the first sign of pressure or someone saying to me, well, we don't have time for you to do that. We don't have time for you to learn how to do that skill. Or what about the money we have to make? Do you see what I mean? Those kinds of voices that we hear that pressure us to not do what our soul is asking us to do are the very things that we this year have to stand up to. Okay. Those are the things we have to say, actually, no, I need to make time for this. This is just as important as anything else I'm doing. And Taurus, you tend to be someone who, a lot of the earth signs, they hold the fort down and they put themselves on the line a lot of the time. This is one of those things where we have to say, no, this is not. I'm making time for this thing. Maybe it's a creative endeavor you want to do. Maybe it's spending time with your girlfriends, doing something special. Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's going to part-time after working full-time. Whatever it is, you have to treasure that which you have here. It's super important. And this can resonate for you guys anyway, just because it could. Okay, let's go ahead and we're bringing in what is the moon card again, just to let you know where we are, time and space. We're doing Taurus right now. We're doing the second quarter, and this is the way we're doing it. I channeled a message for each sign before, just for the year. And now we're doing 2 tarot cards and now the Oracle card, which are these wonderful moonology cards. Ready? New moon in Virgo, trust that all will be well. Okay, Taurus. So this is, again, you putting your foot down a little bit and saying, well, what will happen if I do that? Will they be angry? Will they, not want to continue our agreement in the direction it's going? Will they be disappointed? It does. Here's what I want to tell you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're disappointed. It doesn't matter if they try to passively aggressively tell you that you're doing the wrong thing. It just doesn't matter. And everything is going to work out in your favor. So keep remembering that. Okay, ready? Third quarter of 2026 for Taurus. I love it. This would be, I have to do this for them. June, July, August. So the summertime. Guess what we have? I have to be careful on with the star. Okay. We have the star card and the 8 of Pentacles. Wow. So what I'm really impressed with when I'm looking at this third quarter, I feel like the star is shot. The star, the greater star, as well as your guides, are shining on whatever it is that you're working very diligently on, Taurus. So whatever you're investing in, whatever you've been working hard at, your guides and your ancestors and your higher self are like, make sure that you're seeing all parts of this. We're very glad. You've always been very good at working hard. That's never been a problem, Taurus. But at the same time, make sure that you're bringing in spirit into your everyday life. This is something I focus on a lot with all the work I do with clients, as well as with my school and membership and everything, is how do we bring spirit into our everyday life? And this is when you realize, when you butt your head down, sometimes you disconnect from your spiritual practice and you think it's not, you don't have time for it. Well, here's the news. You have time for it. And spirit will favor you, especially if you say, hey, in the middle of my day when I'm having the most busy day, or I'm so in the mundane, how can I just check in with my guides? How can I ask for what I need to know? How can I pull a card? How can I meditate for 10 minutes? Something like that, right? How can I light a candle? How can I do some divination? All right, here we go. Last quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. How many more times do we need to spell it out is what your guides are saying right now. That's what I hear. How many more times do we need to spell it out, Taurus? Amazing. Okay, we are now on the last quarter for Taurus for 2026. All right, let's see what we've got. Wow. 2 major arcana starting out strong, friends. Guess what we have? The Strength card and the Chariot. And that is so brilliant, because that's really that is exactly the time when, if you're stepping out on a limb and you're changing something you're doing, new things are happening. There is absolutely a time now for you to take charge if there's going to be a change in the wind, in the direction you're going in. If you are stepping out and deciding you want to make money in a different way, leave your job, you want to go more part-time, you want to start your own business, you want to move, escape from where you live. It doesn't matter, whatever it might be. Spirit is really saying, you've got this. I'm watching out for you. It might seem scary and might seem like, do I have all the parts together, Taurus? And Spirit is really saying, yes, I'll be watching out for you. I'll be watching out for you. I think that's just absolutely brilliant. Okay, next we're moving on to the beautiful Gemini. If anybody, is anyone a Gemini, sun, moon, rising? Also, if you guys are new, welcome. My name is Carrie Koss. I'm a psychic medium and spiritual mentor. And if you're new, I'd love for you to say hello and be part of our conversation, or just hang out, and you can put an emoji or watch us from the YouTube feed. That's fine. Whatever you're comfortable doing. Yay! Jennifer is like, that's me, Gemini. So what we're doing tonight is we're going through the entire Zodiac, I should say the whole entire year, rising. And we are doing it on 4 quarters. So I'm not just pulling a couple cards for part of the year. We're pulling it for the 4 quarters. So if you have to like bop out and you can't stay, this will all be time stamped tomorrow. I also want to note, if you are interested, I'm going to be giving away, it's not going to be tonight, 1 free reading for a 30-minute session. You can put your name on this Google Doc. You'll just be going onto my email list, but I'm going to be giving one away. So thank you for being here. Make sure you guys are giving the thumbs up on this particular video. If you're watching it on the replay, let me know how you enjoyed the reading and become a subscriber. I'd love it. we've got a few comments here. We have Jennifer says, I'm known as the crying Gemini at the local witch store. What a wonderful thing to be, the crying Gemini. I think that's wonderful. Gemini North Node. Okay. And then Emma says, I have a few Geminis around me. Love them. Never a dull moment. And they make great friends. They are great. And they are very, very witty, very sharp. And then to the point and say what they mean. That's for sure. All right. Gemini North Node. Amazing. I'm so excited. Okay, good. So again, for if you're new and you're just joining us, let me tell you what's going on. So what I've done here is I actually channeled before I came on this live stream. I don't always do that, but I think it might have to be a thing. And I channeled a message for each Zodiac sign for 2026. So if you want to come back and watch this, or you're like, oh, this will be here. So here we go. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So here's the message I got for Gemini for 2026. I saw an image of some of you wanting to cut your hair shorter. Okay, again, it gets interesting as the further we go. So I did get an image of some of you wanting to cut your hair shorter. Okay. Oh, you're a Gemini, Chastity. Okay. A big change is in order was what I heard. And then the other thing I did get was something about letting your babies fly the coop, leave the nest. So what this felt like, you just got your hair cut short. Oh my gosh, Chastity. There you go. So I did hear that it's time to let some of your babies fly the coop. So if some of you guys have loved ones who are your children or adult children that live with you, or some are going off to college, or whatever that might mean emotionally. Oh, Jennifer said, I'm ready to dye my rainbow if my job lets me. Good, do it. So this is your confirmation, you guys, of like, do the damn thing, but also at the same time, letting energy go. Amazing. Letting your babies fly the coop. And that can come in a lot of ways, guys. Yeah. No, I don't want to let her grow up. I know. Believe me, I might as well be a Gemini because both my kids, one lives with me because he's going to graduate school, but I'm always like, oh my God, when are they going to leave? I don't want them to leave. Okay. I get it. Okay, here's what I want to say, Gemini. Again, the month of June, Gemini, and I know that's one of your months, but they did tell me this seems to be an important time. Excuse me. And it's a time of a pivot and new beginnings. Okay, Gemini. So I did hear that. That was very specific. All right, here we go, Gemini. What do we need to know? Okay. Again, I got to keep cleansing my deck. Just a minute. All right. How we doing, friends? This is so exciting. I'm having such a good time doing this too. So here we go. I'm just going to burn a little more incense. All right. And cleanse this deck. I just started that candle tonight too. Okay. Guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, please clear off any energy that's connected to these cards from all times, places, and spaces. Anything might be hanging on. Cleanse it thoroughly. Okay, and bring it into highest alignment, greatest good. Having the archangels bless it. Send good energy and positivity. All right, and so it is. All right, we continue. All right, let us continue. Okay, again. Here we go. Gemini. All right. I feel like I have to roar my hands up. All right. Okay, here we go, friends. This is Gemini. So some of you are going to cut your hair. Some of you have already cut your hair. That's so crazy. Okay, here we go. So I just have to tell you, my guides this year are really having me focus on a lot of my clairvoyance. Like, I've always been very clairvoyant since I started developing, and I've always had the very visual way of doing readings, but they want me to even laser in on it more. So you guys are going to get the benefit of that. We'll see how We'll see what the year brings. All right, friends, let's see what we got. Let's bring this down. This is the first quarter. Oh, Gemini. I got to watch her. Oh my goodness. 6 of Cups. Again, your children are leaving the nest. The World card and the 6 of Cups. Did we say that? We did say that. Are we coming to an end? We are coming to an end. We're releasing. Is that like, I mean, hello. Okay, you take it as you will. Okay, here's what I'm feeling. There's a whole thing right now, Gemini, with this first quarter, which has a lot to do with, I'm feeling like healing and sealing your 4th chakra, your heart chakra. I think this is something important, that there's a whole thing about, as we said, being aware of your children leaving the nest, whatever that might mean to you, literally or figuratively. This could be inner child. Okay. I'm hearing the inner child, but I feel like now is this time to start and being aware of your own inner child, and not having the decisions you make in your life be based upon pain that's connected to your inner child wounding. Now, how do we avoid this? We don't just avoid it. We do healing work and shadow work, and we embrace our inner child, and we listen, and we work on cleansing in the way that works for us. That's really what I'm getting. So I feel like this first quarter is about ending cycles and new beginnings. And part of that is making space and room, Gemini, for these new experiences for you, which I think is absolutely extraordinary. And the fact that you're sort of like, you're coming home to yourself, that's what I'm getting. You are closing out, chapters that you once really had, that used to feel open-ended, and now you're not going to feel as split between 2 parts of yourself. Okay. So it's a wonderful time for you. And I think it's important that you really listen to what your intuition is telling you. Okay. I love this for you. Oh, here we go. Again, we're at Gemini, first quarter. Here's what I'm getting. Last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. There it is right there. Working through your feelings. That completely goes with the inner child. And new moon in Virgo. Trust that all will be well, Gemini, which it will be. Of course, we know this to be true, right? We know this to be true. So that's your first quarter for Gemini. That's a beautiful energy right there. Really exciting. Okay, second quarter for Gemini. Let's see what we got. Again, we got a lot of this energy. Okay, again, we have Knight of Swords, right? Dashing in, trying to solve problems, not looking before. It really resonates of our good. Not necessarily taking time to figure things out, but going in to solve it very, excitedly, has new ideas, wants to get ahead of the curve, very, very, trying to be responsible, trying to be that person who's seen as having it all together. But then hold on, in the opposite direction, moving in a different way, we have the 6 of Wands, which is very connected in with Leo energy. So it's a little bit like, I don't need to rush to get to where I'm going in order to be the victor, to be successful, for people to respect me. I don't need to rush. I don't need to fix a problem. This is the theme for 2026. I don't need to fix a problem and that's it. Maybe it's someone else's problem that they think there's a problem. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like you might have an exaggerated sense of trying to pull yourself in certain directions because you want to please and be that person who's showing up on time and doing all the things right. But maybe it also is about, wait a minute, I'm going to sit in my center and own my power just a minute, because I'm going to enjoy the journey. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. Certainly we have things we have to do with work. We have responsibilities. We want to be a professional, impressive, things like that. In order to, if we're building a business of any type, we want to be, we want to be impressive because of doing a good job, but not because we're doing it because we're insecure that someone's going to leave us or we're not going to make a good impression. Different energy. All right, let's look at it. Second quarter for my Geminis. What do we have here for oracle cards? New moon in Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. Focus on the positive. That is excellent again. And guess what? You're in your own sign here. Full moon in Gemini. Embrace the flow of life. That is really resonant. So it's like that's your own sign, right? So that means that's what you know. It's all about resonating. You when you're resonating with something and you enjoying it, you're in rightness with it, and you're acting in accordance with that. That's when things start to multiply and happen for you. Second quarter of 2026. Okay, let's move on. Third quarter of 2026. Guess what? Very similar to some last card we pull. We have Ace of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles for you, third quarter. So I am getting a whole, so I feel like some of you with work are going to be enjoying the daily tasks more than you might have in the past. So some of the rudimentary or the things that you find that you, even in your job, if you love it, if there's something mundane, I feel like you're going to enjoy things more. And part of that has to do with the fact that you're in connection with spirit more. So you're not as distant as you once were when you would, when you moved apart from spirit when it came to your work life, especially. And here's the thing. I really feel as though, we enjoy the mundane so much more when we're in alignment with spirit. And when we invest in our spiritual practices, when we meditate, when we journal, when we connect with our guides, when we spend time, doing divination, everything in our lives, even if we're scrubbing toilets, just starts to improve because we're in alignment. That's so different. Okay, let's pull some moon on. And again, that's the third quarter. So that's the summertime. Let's see what we got for moon. So that from this moonology, I'm really liking that with this reading. Here we go, friends. First quarter moon in Aries, stepping into your power, Gemini. Isn't that wonderful? That's what we're looking at. All right. But then also last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. So not being in the dark about how things are, being in, I would say in coordinates and connection with all parts of yourself. So you don't have a disconnect. Again, very important, right? Very important stuff. That this is how we remain, so much more content and pleased and where we feel like we're where we're supposed to be, even if we're like scrubbing toilets, like seriously, whatever it might be, cleaning out your bookshelf, cleaning your room, or organizing your garage. It's like you're in resonance. It doesn't matter anything, right? And again, I did shuffle these cards. I just want to say, look at this. Another one. Hello. We got the strength card and the star card again for that, which I think is very fascinating for the last quarter for you. Okay. Especially when it comes to Gemini, the Leo energy that we're seeing here, I feel like, and that's interesting of Leo and Gemini, that energy, which I feel like actually is very compatible. Air and fire tend to be very compatible. And illumination is what I'm getting. And it feels as though, Gemini, you move very quickly. You tend to have quick minds. You move things, Mercury, it moves very quickly. You tend to take on what's around you. But I feel like there is almost like a pleasure you're getting, to me, of enjoying looking at your shadow. So in no way are you running from it. You're like, oh, I have that blockage. Awesome. Tell me all about it. I want to know. This is what I feel like. You are literally more excited than you've ever been of the fact, if you have an issue, you're, oh, good. I want to see what is my issue. Let's work through it. It's so interesting. I love that they're giving us that. Okay, here we go for your last cards, Gemini, and then we're going to move on. All right, everybody. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practicing gratitude. That's always medicine. Always. because it just gives us that sense of like everything is as it should be. You know, it may be difficult, may be hard, but there's so many good things that are going on in my life. And that just kind of puts you in a different state. You're not then longing for something as much because of your attitude. Final card, new moon in Taurus, know your worth. Very important. We can all agree upon that. Knowing your value, knowing your worth, taking time out for yourself. Here's something else I'm getting for you, Gemini, but I'm seeing a trip for you next year. So hang on, let me look at this. I feel like you're going to there's going to be some of you that are going to be taking trips. This is interesting. I don't know if anyone had somebody in this group or someone who's going to watch this later. I'm hearing somebody going to the Grand Ole Opry. I just heard that, or wanting to go to that area. So this looks like also too would be going to Nashville. I think that's what I'm hearing. So there's something that feels like you will be traveling, and there's something you want to do that you sort of you have on your bucket list. Feels important. So I am hearing that. I'm hearing take that trip. That trip feels like it would happen next fall. I'm just going to tell you. I love these guides. They just say, you know, cut your hair, your stomach's bugging you. What else do we have? You know? Okay. All right. Let's move on to Cancer. Who's ready? Sun, moon, rising, Cancer, North Node, Venus. Feel free to take this reading. Again, all of these readings will be time-stamped. If you want to come back, you're not able to stay, not a problem. Also, I am doing a contest, a raffle. If you want to be, sorry, I got to get it again. It kind of outdid itself. If you would like to be in the running for a sun, moon, here we go, Cancer. If you want to be considered for a free 30-minute reading with me, private reading of your choice, just go ahead and put Cancer rising in North Node. You and I both have my North Node as well as in Cancer. I feel like I'm in my Cancer era. I love it. Put your name on this list. You'll be put into a raffle, and this is essentially my email list, but someone's going to win a free reading, and I'll announce the winner tomorrow night. Yay. Okay. Cancer, sun, moon, rising, Venus, North Node in my case. All right. So we're just taking a look at the energy here, seeing what comes up. We're looking at 4 quarters at a time. I think this timing is really working quite well. I like it. And again, if you guys still also want to get your year ahead reading, now I record those for each client. They are longer than this. They're about 35 to 40 minutes. So I go pretty much in depth into topics. And I do a bigger spread for each season and bring in other things. I also bring in runes, and a variety of things. I channel with their guides, and I give them information. If you are interested in booking one of those, I'll put it in the show notes too before we end tonight. I'm going to be closing that pretty soon here. So, all right, Spirit, what do you have for my Cancerians? And make sure you guys also subscribe to the channel if you would be so kind. It helps support me in this channel, on this channel. And then also make sure you're doing a thumbs up and making comments. Okay, so first quarter for Cancer. There we go. Second quarter for Cancer. Third quarter for Cancer, and the final quarter. Here we are. Okay, let's bring it down. See what we got. We are here. We are here. All right. This is the top. Let's see what Spirit has for you. Wow. Again, that Knight of Swords is the chaser. He's the stalker card for this entire experience. Guess what? We have the Judgment card, reconciling things, making choices, turning over a new leaf is what I'm hearing. And then we also have the Knight of Swords here. Again, I've channeled a message for every single sign, which I'm going to be reading, but we're going to start with these 2 cards and we're going to work our way out. Okay. All right. Let's see what the message that I channeled was for Cancer. Again, these are all surprising me, but here we go. Cancer. Moon cycles are going to be important to you this year. More intentional ritual is what they told me. Not as much winging it. with your sacred practices, right? Or going with the flow. So again, this is you being called out a little bit, that this will, your guides want you to be more intentional about your spiritual practices, your ritual, or if you're doing any type of spell work, or we'll call it intention setting, manifestation, whatever you want to call it. This is a year you want to be more mindful. You want to be aware of what planets are passing through in, like, what moon during the new moon and the full moon. You want to be aware of eclipses. You want to go through this, and so you want to involve this because it's important to you. Okay. So knowing that, Cancer. All right. And so it's not as much like going with the flow. We'll see what happens. It's like, no, I'm going to plan this because it's for you. That's what they're saying. Making more time for you to be more intentional. Here's the other thing. This could be for you, Ashley, too. There is something here with landing something in September. A job, a relocation, an inheritance. Take time to think about what you want to do with this and be intentional. Okay. Okay. I'm glad that resonates. So that came in like hot off the press, Cancer. I love it. Like, I've never been someone who does predictions because I'm like, oh, I don't want to, what if I'm wrong? I'm like, my guides are like, move over. We have information. Okay. I'm like, okay. They're like, you're responsible and you're ethical. Quit worrying about it. I'm like, okay. All right, let's get to the energy. Again, first quarter, Judgment card and the Knight of Swords. Okay, first of all, we are not playing small here, Cancer. We're not shrinking and inverting. Not that you ever would. But this is something really where they're telling you to get a backbone. And this could probably be thinking about showing up for yourself and committing when it comes to your spiritual practice. Like, don't leave it up to chance. Get a calendar that tells you the moon cycles ahead of time. Know what season you're in, right? As you're doing all these very intentional things with your practice, don't leave it up to happenstance. It's very important. You want to make the most of your time and you want to take responsibility for it, because a lot of you who are Cancers you're being asked to step into spiritual leadership right now, and in different ways and in different places and in a lot of different and I know that because a lot of the Cancers I know, some are in the room. There is this sense of like, okay, it's your turn. Don't hang out in the back. Come up to the front and lead and make your choice. And, your guides are taking you there. So it's kind of like you don't get caught. Cancer is always a very strong energy for me. Cancers always will be a strong emotional force. But I also think sometimes you can get sidelined by different things because of the level of empathy you have and because of your feeling nature. So they're just saying, take it bull by the horns. That's really what I'm getting for you guys. All right, let's see what we're getting here. Let's get the cards for the moon. All right, friends, here we go. I like it already. Here we go. New moon in Pisces, attuning to the divine. And then you're getting a lot of water energy here, which is interesting. Is it interesting for a Cancer? First quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. Okay. So make that water work for you. Make it powerful, because that's what you guys do so well. Okay. All right. What do we have for the second? I just saw a spirit in my room. Hello. I'm not sure who you are, but welcome. I feel like it's an animal spirit. Welcome. We'll see. Oh, anyway. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Did anyone have a dog, a pet pass recently in this room? It's a pet. It's not a person. Okay, sorry. Second quarter, we have the Ace of Cups and then the Three of Cups, which is celebrating essentially with friends and family and people that are respectful of you emotionally. There's an emotional depth here. So just the first thing I want to say is that, congratulations is what I'm hearing. Congratulations. That's what they're saying. second quarter, Cancer. Congratulations. There's something that you need to be really appreciate. No. Sorry, that was my daughter trying to call me while I'm on a live stream, and I was like, huh. Anyway, excuse me. Wait a minute. I just told her, hi babe. I'm on FaceTime. Remember you trying to FaceTime me? Hang on just a minute. Sorry guys. She's hilarious. I mean, I just talked to her like 45 minutes ago. Just called me right in the middle of my live stream. Pardon me. Anyway, speaking of daughters and celebrating. Okay. No, I think the pet was a recent loss. Someone's pet who was recent. Someone who's going to watch this later has had a pet that's passed in the last 6 months. 2 to 6 months. It's definitely, I'm not sure who it is. Just a minute. Hang on, guys. I'm going between cat and dog. I haven't gotten yet, but anyway, I'll connect with them in a second. So someone who's watching this later, it could be someone who's Cancer, but there's a pet that just came in. So give me a second. I'll check in. Ace. All right. It was a female. She just told me that. I think this was a cat, female cat. Let me know if anybody had a female cat that passed in the spirit world. I want to talk about how I feel the cat's name was like Blackie or something cute like that. The cat looks black and white. Okay, I digress. Sorry. I stop for animal spirits. Okay. 3 of Cups. Yeah, the animal was your best friend. Oh, you're a Cancer too. Amazing. Okay. This is your second quarter, my love. You got it. 3 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Okay. Already we love this for you guys already. Okay. Because this is kind of towards the beginning of your season. One thing I'm getting here though, is that, so when I'm seeing the Ace of Cups, I'm really getting this sense of the thing that's really sticking out to me a lot is the dove at the top, which I've always seen and that's like the communion wafer. Don't take it as a literal thing, but I feel like you've opened yourself up a bit, Cancer, to allow other people to come in to help a little more, not necessarily trying to do things on your own in the second quarter so much. So there is something here about you not wasting time worrying about if you should tell people how you feel, or if you should think about it before you discuss it. I'm really feeling like you need to pay attention to how you feel, and then also know Spirit is still heavily guiding you in that second quarter. And it also feels like you're going to be, I'm hearing the words briefed. So you're going to start getting those messages, those energies that come in from your guides. And there is a little bit as though there's going to be a twist of fate or some things happening here that are with you in that second quarter that I think are going to be instrumental for what plays out for the rest of your year. That's really what I'm getting. Now, notice I was talking about the cat. Look at the back of these cards. Okay. There's a cat hanging around. This is going to make sense to someone. Let me know later, but I'll pull one of these cards for you guys for this, and let's just see what it says. Okay. Whatever. Okay. So we're getting strength and resilience, Cancer. Okay. And then we're also getting air magic. Okay. So it feels like I want to write. This means as you're working through some feelings you have, especially as you start getting like the downloads again from your guides or from Spirit, you're bringing in more people into your universe to connect and bring them into what you're learning, experiencing, and growing with. And then you're also definitely feeling strengthened by that, not as though it's an overwhelm or you're going to be bothering people too much with what you've been going through. It's very important. And also the writing down your experiences is going to be very important. So those of you that you might have a newsletter, right? You might have a oh my gosh, yes, you might have a blog. Okay, I'm getting it. Sorry. You might have a way that you share your experiences is going to be important for you second quarter. That's really what I'm getting, okay? All right, Cancer. Third quarter of oh, there you are right there. Third quarter of Substack. Thank you. You saw my brain freeze on that one. My brain froze. I was like, where is it? Finding it. Substack. So some of you guys, there's going to be a thing. They want you to talk about your experiences and don't try and make it shiny. That's what I'm getting. Share your pain and your sorrow and your process. It helps people. They find it refreshing. That's what I just heard. Okay, third quarter. Here you are, the Queen of Cups with the Chariot card. Did you guys know the Chariot card is also a sign of Cancer? That has the sign Cancer in it, the Chariot card, right? It is one of the elements that it has. It's Mother Moon. You can see it all over. Okay. This is really using your intuition, your feeling nature, your deep emotional acumen, and wisdom, guidance, self-awareness as your strength. So, whereas before you thought, well, brooding, I don't know if people are going to want to hear what I have to say. I'm kind of in a funk, so I'll wait till I'm over the funk until I talk about it. And that's not the approach that they're saying you should have here. Okay. What the guides are saying, you need to just explore this year, third quarter, how that actually helps you to be able to talk about your journey, and share it and articulate it. It's important. Third quarter. Okay. Cancer. Guess what? Again, here we are with the freaking cat. Okay, I'm just accepting it. I don't know what's going on. Rebirth and reinvention. And we are in the water again here with the emotions, as well as make a move. Okay, Cancer. So we have the two water signs. This is definitely, here's what do we know about water that stays still? It stays stagnant. It doesn't grow. It becomes like essentially a breeding ground for germs. But what you want to know is that that's why you need to share what your experience is. You don't just keep it to yourself in a pot or a kettle. You have to share it. You have to boil it. You have to process it. That's an important thing that they're saying for you this year. And again, let's go back to what our first bit of channeled information for Cancer was, is that we said something that's going to happen in September, which is just after this period of reflection and growth is going to start to happen. So something's going to kick in. So you got to just trust the process, which I know is not easy. Okay. Final two cards for Cancer for 2026 for the last quarter. Guess who's coming out? The Moon card. Also, again, very connected to Cancerian energy, as well as Temperance. And notice with Temperance, we're converting the unconscious to the conscious. We have one foot in the water with our emotions and our subconscious, and then one foot on the ground, keeping us stable, as well as we have in the Moon situation, the lobster, which is representing spirituality, is emerging from the water again, right? Being eclipsed. You just have a lot of just very interesting energy, Cancer, for next year. I think that in general, I think you're going to be able to see yourself very objectively is what I'm getting. Almost like you can look back on yourself and say, wow, I really have come a long way. And I am able to express myself in a way that is empowering, and it helps me as well as helps others. Okay, we're going to end this Cancerian reading with the Moon card. Again, someone's going to be able to come back to me later and go, that was my cat. I don't know, but it's a cat here. It's not my cat. My cat's still alive. I don't have a cat in the spirit world that's been around enough. So it's someone's cat is here with me who is in the spirit world. So make sure you let me know if you watch this later. Comment, please. Okay, last one here we have last quarter moon in Libra. Make time for slow self-love. That is beautiful. One thing I'm hearing, Cancer, is that you can learn something from Libra's energy in the way they work through things and don't get too attached. And they can balance things out and look at things as objectively. That might be a helpful thing for you to adapt some of those sort of ways of doing things for yourself. Final card, last quarter moon in Virgo, attend to the details. Okay. So that is letting not letting excuse me, that's letting stuff go, not because you're overlooking something, but that's so that you can move forward, and the details you're going to find you'll be able to get in reflection as you move forward. If you stay stuck too long or vociferating over things back and forth, it's hard to then see the big picture. The big picture gives you the insight you need with the details. Remember, Cancer, something's going to happen in September. There's going to be a shift of some kind, possibly an offer that's coming your way. Let me know in the comments if that made sense. I'm excited to see what happens. Yay, Cancer. All right, where my Leos at? Where my Leos at? Where my Leos at? And again, if you guys are new, welcome. My name is Carrie Koss. I am a psychic medium, and on my channel, on my channel, I do readings twice a week that I upload. They're usually channeled from, from higher self, ancestors. You're very welcome. Woohoo! I know, love me some Leo. And Akashic Records, things like that. But I'm also going to be doing some educational videos. So please stay tuned. Also, if you want to be considered for we're doing a little bit of a drawing. We're doing a raffle. And so all you need to do is to put your first and last name and your email on that Google Doc, and I'll be picking someone at random. I have this little thing I can use to pick a name for being able to receive a 30-minute private reading with me. So isn't that wonderful? So go ahead and put your name in there, and we'll pick those tomorrow. Also, if you're not able to stay for this, you're like, oh, I love this. I want to hear what my sign is, but I have to go. Don't worry, because this entire reading, this video will be uploaded tomorrow with timestamps. So you can come back and find yours for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever comes for you. All right. So here's how we're doing it tonight, friends. We are going on to Leo. We're going to be looking at the entire year. We're going quarter by quarter, right? So 4 quarters in a year. And what I also have done for every sign is I channeled a message from my guides for every single sign of sort of an overarching theme for the year or what to be aware of. Take what resonates. Again, everything will be timestamped. Some things may not make sense now. Some things will make sense later because it's, hindsight, and we're also living it then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and just see which cards come forth. We're picking 2, 2, and 2. I'm going to have you guys do that. So I'm going to pick first, and then we will move on to the channeled message and so on. Okay. All right. And make sure that you guys are subscribing as well as liking this video with a thumbs up. That helps me tremendously. Commenting helps me tremendously. It tells YouTube that, oh, this woman knows what she's talking about. Maybe people like her. Maybe more people should like her. And that helps me so much on this channel. All right, let's start with the first quarter. Again, it's going to be hard for you guys to see this because this part of my screen is small, but we're working on it. We're working on it. There's the first quarter. Okay, friends, I'm going to move this over just a touch. And then the second quarter. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, they're very specific with me. Okay, I can hear them chatting away. All right, and then we'll go up to the third quarter. Ooh, that popped right out. Okay, thank you. Right, kind of see it there. We'll come lift this up immediately. I just like you guys to get your energy on the cards while we're starting. All right, fourth quarter. All right, guys. Now, let's go ahead and move into the channeled message. Like I said, every single Zodiac sign got a channeled message. This is the first time I've done it, and I'm so excited for it. I do this often for private readings, but not for the collectives, which I'm going to start changing now. All right, friends, here's what we have for Leo. Ready? Again, I want to remind you that when I get medical information or health related information, it's never anything to be it's never anything to be worried about. It's mainly meant to be an awareness. And if it doesn't resonate, don't worry about it. And it's sort of like the way I see things, because I'm a medical intuitive and medium. And so I get things, but it's mainly starting in the energy body. It's something to be aware of, that you have power to shift. Okay. I'm also getting something with your abdomen, Leo, gut health again. The words I heard for you were enjoy yourself. Your stability will come through letting go and change. You will be coming to terms with something that is coming to an end in your life. Sorry. There's a big emphasis here on forgiving yourself, and you don't have to think you have done and not to think, that you've done anything wrong. Things may not end perfectly with some of the people in your life, because there's going to be some endings, is what I saw. I also heard the words, now it's your turn. Okay, Leo. So that's for my Leos. That's a big lot of energy. So we're already starting out strong. Wow, they're very bossy. Okay, here's what they're saying. They're giving me everything. All right, they're like, give me the cards. Okay, they're bossy. All right, I took it. All right, so here's what I'm getting for all of my Leos. Are you ready? Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus again. Look at that. That is your card, 6 of Wands with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. That means that you are finally getting recognized for who you are, all that you contribute, and the things that you add to the conversation, and how you enhance things in others' lives. It's almost as though people have been resisting you and making you smaller because of their discomfort with your energy. I'm just going to really say that for you, Leo. But also you're at the point now, 10 of Pentacles, that 10 of Pentacles, you are now at this point where you are not desperate for approval. You don't need to make anything up to make everybody else feel comfortable. You don't need to make yourself small. And there's also something that's sort of ridiculous that your guides are talking about in this sense, that you almost think is funny. And that's that you're so competent, but yet some people didn't put you in charge of certain things because they saw you in a distorted way. And you're just at the point where it doesn't matter anymore. I'm also really feeling some of you are going to go back to hobbies you had when you were like preteen teens, like horseback riding, or some activities that are really, I think, sports related, it feels like, but also things that you used to enjoy doing. For example, learning to do stained glass, learning how to do different types of crafting, right? If there's you're a change is in the air, Leo. That's what I'm getting. Here we go again. You ready? Is this accurate? I'm glad. Okay, good. Now look at this. Okay, here, this is why I love spirit. I want you to look at this, and I want you to notice this is a child holding a globe, which feels like something that is, your guides are saying, do the thing you love to do when you were a kid and you put it down for everybody else. Look at this, the truth. Notice how she's holding that globe in her hand, and she's just like, yes, I want to do these things that are so special to me. There's a reason you like to do those things, and I feel like you're going to be picking it up back again. Okay, that's something I'm really hearing for you, Leo. It's like something that you enjoy. Could be something completely random, but it's for you. Okay. All right, Leo, second quarter. April, May, June. Here we go. Wow, here we are. Okay, this is relationship energy to me. Guess who came to dinner? The King of Cups. Oops, and the Lovers. Okay, we already know, most of us already know the Lovers don't always mean a relationship. what it really means is a fork in the road, a choice is there. And so, but what it's saying, I'm going to take it from the place what I'm first getting, which is about relationships, second quarter, Leo. So it feels as though finally a change is in the air with relationships, that you are not going to tolerate partners who are not mature, who don't have a sense of a deeper sense of trying to have an emotional intelligence. Also wanting more attracted to people and only attracted to people that respect you, that don't make you small, that don't I feel like something you do sometimes is you say, you kind of, even though you're so intelligent, you kind of put yourself down, Leo, by saying, I know people tell me I'm too much, or maybe I don't know how to do that. It's like I'm hearing all these little cut downs that you cut yourself down or have done. And now is the time just to eliminate all that. It's just kind of going to the side, getting out of your head and completely going, sorry, I'm not shape shifting for anybody. Those are the words I just heard. I'm going to be myself. If you don't like it, that's tough luck. Okay. I'm putting my mouth open like that because I heard earlier today that when I was doing these, there's something about a messenger of an owl. So we'll take that for you too. Wisdom is here. So if an owl is a sign for you, there's your sign. Or it's also like, watch out for owls. That's what I'm hearing. I'm going to pull another one. Okay, and then we're getting the other thing. Notice, Leo, we have the woman in red, joy, just expressing herself, not holding back on the first chakra level. You'll notice it's in her lower body. That's on a foundational level in your life and in your body. You feel completely expansive, Leo. Completely expansive. Not worried at all about what it looks like to anybody else. It's your turn. You might have moments that this feels uncomfortable. It's brief. It's not going to last long. All right, take a look at all this wands energy. So in your third quarter, Leo, which would be July, August, September. So this is around your season. We're getting a lot of the wands energy. So there's going to be a need for balance. So we're getting the 5 of wands and the 9 of wands. So this is all fire energy. So you'll notice what's between these two. We have the 6, 7, and 8 of wands. There's a progression. You're trying to move on quickly from where you are to where you want to be. And the truth of the matter is that not only is there no rush, is what I'm hearing, is that if you try to push yourself too hard, it's going to cause a stampede. I am hearing that. So you want to bring in not so much fire into some of these circumstances. When you want to move forward, you want to bring in more of the swords, which is thinking and disconnecting and cutting off some of those cords that from old situations, old relationships, whatever the case may be. And you want to be more in a place of enjoyment. Okay. Slowing down, pleasure, emotional well-being, all these little, nuances, very important. Okay, this is going to be your oracle card, third quarter, please and thank you. From Spirit. Oh, we got 2 cards coming out. Okay, I like it. So here's what you got. You got embracing. That's the energy of Selene. That's the energy of the goddess who is with the moon. So embracing again is that water energy. That's what I was saying before. That's the best thing for you. Water, again, it has to do with emotion, has to do with relationships. Isn't so much about like running out the door and putting out fires, but calming and soothing and being emotive. And then we have finally the focus card for this, which to me is really about self-awareness and putting things, making things a tiny bit slower and allowing more to surround you that is done naturally because you're in alignment. See, something happens when we're in alignment and when we're connected to our intuition, when we are living confidently, when we are listening, when we're letting go, things start just happening in the right direction. It's just a healthy response in the universe to good things happening, because you're not creating from a place of lack or trying to get validation, which attracts within itself problems, right? So there's a deeper sense of self-love here. Okay, final two cards. Final quarter. Leo, here we go. Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. That is just yummy, yummy, yummy energy for you, Leo. I love that for you. It's funny. One of my dear friends is a Leo, big Leo energy, and her North Node is an Aquarius. I'll just give you this as an example. And I'm always saying to her, I want you to think like an Aquarius, just for this situation when, you're not changing who you are in your Leo-ness, but you want to think about expanding your energy, or think about letting go. Thinking about the thing that's hardest for you is the best thing for you to do, Leo, in this case. And that means rest. That means being intentional. That means not doing a million things and being in a new direction all the time. That means waiting. That means listening. That means tuning in. It's all those things. That's really what I'm getting. Ooh. Okay, here are the final two cards for Leo for 2026, the final quarter. What do we have? Oh, how beautiful. This is wonderful. Okay, this is Lorenda Carr. I've got to tell her this card thing. We have the dragon coming out, the strength card. Okay, with the orange dragon. All right. And then we also have the card of, this is so pretty, opening. This is like apps with a lily pad. Isn't that splendid? So remember, you are the dragon energy because you're Leo. You have the fire nature. That's fine. But notice this beautiful balance between the divinity and the power of the dragon here, that fiery primal energy. But it's also next to this beautiful, oh, I just realized that's a sign for me. Sorry, I just had my own serendipitous moment. I'll tell you guys in a second. But anyway, this is you opening up your energy and receiving instead of just blasting everything through with like kamikaze going in and burning everything down. It's really learning to balance things. So, okay, let me tell you my own private story. 2 days ago in meditation, I do this every now and again. And I think I say this to my students and my clients, that I ask my guides for signs and symbols to show me things, because I do so much spiritual work. You guys know this. I am talking to spirits that's my job. I convey these messages to my clients and I help people develop. That's my job. And so can you imagine, this is your whole job. And so sometimes you're like, can you show me a sign? Am I headed in the right direction? Guess what my exact sign was 2 days ago? My exact sign was a flower just like this, exactly like this, was just more an open, it's not a rose. It's more of an opening, billowy, kind of like a specific kind of a pink. It's not a lily, but similar. And this, I just realized this is the exact flower that I asked them to show me. Also, I want to explain something to you. Well, I'm not my stellium is in Leo and my 10th house is in Leo. I'm not a Leo, but that is just so meaningful to me. I know, isn't that crazy? Because I was like, oh, I got my own sign. We all need it. Okay, so even if you're a person who does this for a living, like Emma and I do, or any of the rest of you who do this for a living, you need to ask your guides for signs and validation. And I haven't picked up this deck in like 3 months. I love it. I just went through all my decks today, and I'm going to be doing a big sale on my decks. And I haven't picked that deck up. I love this deck, but I haven't picked it up in a while. So that's beautiful. I love that too. All right, guys, how exciting. We're on to Emma's sign of Virgo. Where are my Virgos in the house? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Love this for you guys. Thank you again for being here. I'm going to rub my hands. I'm going to burn a little bit more incense. We're having a busy energy night, which is good. Make sure you guys are clearing, doing a lot. Peonies, thank you, Amy. I knew I could count on you. You're darling. You are darling, Amy. Thank you. Amy's a friend of mine, and we have a thing about Leanne Morgan. She's from, if you guys know her, she's the comedian. She's my favorite comedian. She's from Tennessee. And she always says, "You are just precious. You are darling." Hang on. You are just darling. I know. Who doesn't love peonies? Yes, and I was saying that. And see, I didn't even remember the name. Who does not? Right, April? Who does not love Leanne Morgan? Like, she is my best. She's my best friend. She just doesn't know it. I feel like I'm taking on all her stuff now. How she talks. And it's funny because her relationship with her husband is almost exactly like my relationship with her husband. You know, Chuck Morgan. If you guys have to watch her, if you haven't watched her, you have to watch her. She's freaking hilarious. She calls her husband Chuck Morgan. You know, when I met Chuck Morgan, I knew he's going to be good. He's going to know how to change a tire. He's going to be like stable, and he's going to know how to lay down tile. That's like my husband. Hilarious. Hang on. We love her. Oh, this incense is so good. You know, my daughter gave me this incense as one of my Christmas gifts, you guys, because my daughter is so cute. My daughter's 22. You know, she just had her 22nd birthday, and she's so funny because she's like, "Mom, you have to make sure that some." Oh, it also represents your husband's grandma, Amy girl. Oh, I love that. See, you got your sign. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's got to get their sign for whoever, wherever it's love. I'm going to do mediumship probably next week, but you know, we have to have our signs too, even if, well, a bunch of these people are developing mediums too, just so you guys know. Again, also make sure you guys get on the list if you want to be in the running for getting a free 30-minute session with me. Someone for tonight's going to get it. Okay. Let me get in here. Gonna burn a little incense. Gonna clean up the clean the deck again. It just feels like heavy. I don't know. It better mean I'm not going to get a new deck because I love this deck. It's my truth telling, my favorite version of deck. But you know, you know this, Emma, right? When you use the decks as much as we use them, sometimes you just have to get a new deck, which is what I'm like, oh, all right, there we go. Oh my gosh, Dion, they are for you too. And Dion, that you just had your Leo reading. Amazing. All right, friends, here we go. Let's get it popping. All right. I must feel like I have to, let me put some selenite on my hands. I'm having a busy night. I'm like, selenite, you know, I got to give my people clean readings. I know, right? Emma, I totally get you. All right, here we go. All right, friends. This is for all my Virgos. My Virgos, here we go, babies. 2026 has a lot in store for you. Okay, here's how we're doing it. If you are new, thank you for being here. If you have to pop out, that's okay, because all of these readings, they're being recorded, and they'll be timestamped tomorrow, so you can check these out later. We're actually going through, here's how we're doing it. We're going through each of the seasons or the quarters. So we have the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter. We're pulling a few cards for each. What's the theme? What's the energy? What do you need to know? But also I have channeled a reading for each, a message for each sign as well. My guides gave me that today, which I was so happy about. And that's seeming to really resonate for people. So take what resonates. Again, some things may not resonate tonight. They may resonate later, and that's okay. So don't worry. Okay. Here we go. I'll show you what I'm doing. All right. So we're doing first quarter here for my lovely Virgos. Second quarter for my lovely Virgos. I'm a little far over here. Hang on. Okay. All right. Here we go. Second quarter for my lovely, third quarter rather, for my lovely Virgos. Get this nice and pretty. And fourth quarter for my lovely Virgos. Okay, for some reason they're having me pull 3. That's the first. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, Virgo, here we go. Let's get your channeled message. All right. You are going to get the recognition. Oh my God. You deserve this year. Okay, I'm going to say it again, Virgo. You are going to get the recognition you deserve this year. A lot of the time it has been about others. Now it's going to be more about you. And then I wrote down the words, woohoo. It's hard to read it. Okay. You are like a transistor radio hearing spirit. So for those of you, I know some of you are already clairaudient, but you're going to start hearing spirit more clearly. And this is really strongly coming in for you this year, Virgo. Okay. Yeah, that's what you got. You have a lot of powerful stuff going on. So it's really your year, Virgo. I just want to tell you. Okay, let's see what we got here, Virgo. All right. We're pulling again these two cards. That Queen of Cups has come out a lot for this evening. And then also we have the Temperance, right, which is representative of Sagittarius energy of transmutation. So one thing I feel like, one thing I know a lot, I do have a son who's a Virgo, so I understand the energy very well. So some things are obvious and then some things may not be as obvious. So the thing about Virgo energy, and especially with the Queen of Cups, similar to the Cancer energy, you guys are you have a depth of emotion, a depth of understanding, and a depth of like I would say, a willingness to serve at all costs. And you don't ask questions and you don't tend to make it about yourself, or if you do, you grind your gears and only complain maybe to your closest friends and family. So this is why I think this year, especially, I think there's going to be a shift in that, almost as though you're always going to be one of the people that outworks everybody. Okay. Puts in the most effort, shows up on time, everything connected to that, Virgo. However, I think in this situation, it's going to be similar to what we saw with some of the other signs, especially with like Aries, things like that. And, Cancer, you don't have to put in quite as much work as you once did, because I feel like you're going to be met before you get to that point of exhaustion or burnout or having to prove yourself, because you're going to get more opportunities coming in, more recognition. So you do realize, oh, I'm really actually working twice as hard as most people. So my just average is really a lot of people's best. You know exactly what I mean. So here's the thing, but it's kind of like you're not going to be burning the candle at both ends anymore. This is going to be of like, okay, I think I've done enough. This is something I've been trying to work on with my adult son. He's a very ethical, hardworking person, and outworks everybody. And I won't go too much into what he's doing, but he's in graduate school, and he also is working in a firm and stuff. So he's showing up, and I'm like, you're working, you don't need to work that hard. You get that, right? You don't have to like go to that step, right? You're not really impressing anybody. This is more, you've got to understand this, your best is, most people can't even get to your best, right? So you don't have to go over the top is what I'm getting. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. So let me move on to now, if I may. Here we go with our oracle decks, our oracle cards, my loves. Okay. We overwork ourselves a lot. See, exactly, that you do. And you have to realize, oh, I guess I don't have to work. I don't have to show up in that way anymore, because the part of me that extra effort, I need to come back more with myself and give myself that energy. So not only because I have balance, because then you're not having to be in that position of proving yourself so much. You can just believe I have done enough. I am the judge of my own behavior, not anybody else. I know I've done enough. All right. Okay. I love these oracle cards for you. Last quarter moon in Capricorn, leave the past behind. So that means that version of ourselves that we thought we were so determined to, I'll outwork everybody. It's not even a thing of you're doing it because of other people. You're just doing it because it's innately in you. But you're saying, wait a second, I don't need to like put it to this extreme. I can definitely, turn it back and have a little balance. Why not? Okay, my loves, then first quarter moon in Scorpio, release your blocks. Look at that. I'm really getting that alignment too. You can see that person just seeing and being in that specific yoga pose, alignment and ease. Really lovely energy there for my beautiful Virgos. Okay, friends, let's go into the second quarter, shall we? A choice is coming, my loves, for you second quarter. Two of Swords is here. She be here for us. She be coming out with the Ace of Wands right there. Okay. So let's kind of dive into what this is about. Let me take a clairvoyant peeky. I'm getting an image of you laying in bed and then looking under your covers, almost as though there is a little bit of a, like, I just want to pull up my covers. I don't want to face the choice I have to make. Okay. This has to do with making a choice, second quarter, right? This has to do with I worry I'll hurt someone. They've enjoyed me in the version that I was. This is all, again, stems back to the same thing as don't be concerned with if you feel like you're going to make someone else feel uncomfortable because they're not doing enough, or they'll feel like you're doing too well. Okay, can I get a yes? So you can't worry if you're doing really well and the opportunities are coming to you, as I mentioned, and people are acknowledging you. Don't worry if someone else is not doing well in this regard. Okay. Don't dim your light because someone else maybe has a hard time with your success. You still have to be successful. Hear me. That's very important, Virgo. Like, everybody has to contend with their own insecurities, their own, when they get diminished in their energy and they don't have confidence. Yes, you can boost them up. You can make them feel confident for a time, but they have to do that for themselves. Okay. A fork just fell in the kitchen and no one has been in there for an hour. Okay. I'm telling you, the spirits are out. Emma's like, accurate. Okay. Accurate. So if you take this, amen, there we go. Spirits coming in. And also those dang animals are coming in. This is like, whoo, Ray's like, hello. Amen. A woman. No, are you kidding me? I love it. I love a spirit interruption. I live for that. Never apologize. We are all part of this. We make up this. All right. We need to pull some cards on this. What are we doing for this? Let's get some tea. Not dimming my light for anybody. That's right, girl. We won't let you anyway. Did I not just say, Emma, everybody, look what we got. All you Virgos. Radiance. Don't dim your light. Emma just said it, but it's also the Phoenix rising. And then we're getting the Voyage. So that means could be travel. It means you being invited to do things, expansion. I am getting something about being asked to speak in front of an audience. So would this look like I'm maybe speaking at a conference? I'm maybe speaking at a workshop. I'm teaching something. Oh, good. Speaking to you live. Great. So grateful. Yes. We love it. I know Emma's like, yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, this one is just cracking. Look at that. That is just it. I'm eating that right now. That's like eating it. Okay. Third quarter. Coming in hot. Okay, here's where we have to be. This is dicey. Okay, this is where it's going to get a little tricky. Third quarter is also going to be around your birthday. Okay, so we have, again, I have to go remind myself of these quarters. March, April, May, June. Yeah, July, August, September. This is your birthday time. Guess what's going on here? But there's a completion of a cycle. 3 of Swords, past pain. 7 of Swords could be seen it in a couple different ways. Some people say it's deception. I don't always just go a flat line thing like that. I think we can look at it in different ways depending on the scenario, but also what you need to know, the number 10 comes up. I feel like this means we could have an old partner coming back now that, okay, here it comes. Now that you're blossoming and you're growing and expanding and you're glowing, you could have people coming back into your life, maybe as a partner or other people who are now trying to kind of get under the light of your shine, get under your shine and under your light. And don't, now that you're more confident, be aware that some people, there's an unconscious thing that they start coming in closer again. It's like moth to a flame. So just be aware of that energy in the third quarter. Okay, Virgo, because you're more confident, so you're radiating more confidence. So the bottom feeders might be coming around. But also what we want to be understanding is that people, here's another aspect though, people that, again, don't have enough confidence in themselves, have a thing about being aligned with someone who's doing well for their own advantage, not for a mutual thing. And then also take what's yours is what I'm hearing. Take credit. Take what's yours. Don't give someone else the credit. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Someone else is going to try and take the credit for something. That's what I've just heard. So if you're working on something with someone else, watch about someone. Notice if someone says, yes, well, I created that and I did that and it was my idea. Be aware of that in social scenarios or when you're working with people. I'm just hearing that. Okay, here we go. Ooh, grace and gratitude. And him was like, yep. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Here we go. Grace. I love this card. And then gratitude. This is for me, a card of a grandmother, someone's grandmother coming through here, or grandmother energy. So first of all, this is just really showing that angels are all around you. There's deep, deep levels of protection, but there's also levels here of loved ones in the spirit world. So you have nothing to worry about when it comes to, sometimes when you're expanding and things are starting to go well, and all of a sudden your part of you is like, is the other shoe going to drop? Is something bad going to happen? That's what I'm hearing. Don't even worry about any of that. Nothing is going to happen. You're completely protected. Spirit's holding strong here. You have nothing to be afraid of. And keep, as you expand and things are working out, say to yourself this: I'm safe as I expand. I am safe. I'm always safe. Everything always works out for me. Just a way, as you're expanding subconsciously, you're holding that in your energy body, that your nervous system is safe. Okay. I'm hearing that. Okay. Last quarter. Oh gosh. Okay. Here we go again. We have a choice that has to be made. You just saw spirit by your feet. Yep. Okay. So King of Pentacles coming in with the Lover's card. Can't show her because of the obvious reasons. Okay. The Lover's card. Again, we're making a decision here because Seven of Cups is coming out. So a couple things I want to say is that, your investment's paying off. So you may be the person in the business deal or in the venture or in the opportunity that's where you're going to be getting, an offer of some type. I feel like I can see that happening towards the end of the year for you. Just make sure that you know what is involved in the details and you don't just sign on the dotted line, but you make sure that it works out well, especially as you go further. And if it's a contract, that's what I'm hearing. You want to make sure that you're really reading the fine lines or between the lines, that you really understand everything in the contract. That's what I'm getting. I'm also feeling like there's something about someone that's going to be on TV, like a local spot, like you're going to be interviewed. I think this is someone in the spiritual space. And there's going to be an opportunity. So you want to get really comfortable with speaking on camera. I'm hearing that. So make sure that you're kind of training yourself to, like, what would it be like if somebody interviewed me? What would I say? If they asked me what I did, would I be able to articulate it? I think all these things are very important is what I'm hearing for you. So preparing yourself and acting as if it's already happened. And because of that, you want to act natural. It's kind of like when you are working on manifesting something, you want to be like feeling what it feels like. And you don't want to have that be confusing. All right, here we go. Last two cards for Virgo. Then we're going to move on to Libra. Flow and power. Ooh. So all the things that you've been working on are coming into fruition. We have the flow card here, love. And that's like everything's working out for you, Virgo. And then power. And I always look at elephants in so many ways, but I look at them as very dedicated, loyal, the longest, they have the longest memories, and they are so really completely committed to their I don't know what you call a pack of elephants, but we'll call it their group. And so, all those things means things are going to pay off for you. All your hard work, all your dedication, all of your showing up is going to pay off, Virgo. Okay. Yay. All right. Let's get into it. All right. Libra. Okay. Making sure no one's trying to call me again. People, don't try and call me. Okay. Got it. There we go. Love elephants. Yay. Love it. I know. Me too. I love elephants. Me too. All right. Are we ready? Libra. Where my Libras at? Oh, I'm a Libra. Or if you have sun, moon, rising. Venus in Libra. Let's see what we're doing. And then I got a channel message. Okay, we're going. You're very welcome. I'm glad that made sense. Okay, here we go. All right. Libra. You're very welcome. All right, let's do the same thing, everybody. Ready? Libra. First quarter. They're showing me second quarter. Okay, third quarter. It's going to be a little tough to see. Sorry, guys. And then they want me to shuffle. Boop, put that together. I need a bigger screen. There we go. There's 1 and 2. All right, let's see. All right, here we go, Libra. Whoops. That's hilarious. Then I just had something fall too. So Ashley had something fall. I had something fall. Here we go, spirits. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's read the channel message for Libra. Again, if you're watching this later, everything is time-stamped. And if you guys do want to, if you want to get on the list, please go ahead and get on this Google list. If you're watching this, and this has to be done by tonight, obviously. And then I'm going to pick someone at random tomorrow who will be chosen for a free 30-minute session. It's a little bit of a raffle. Okay, so here we're going to read. You guys ready? This is a channeled message that I got about each sign, and this is for Libra. All right, it says this: stand aside and let others do the work for a change. This is a big theme this year. You don't always have to get your hands dirty and do everything to be noticed and get what you want. You are going to read a book. This is so interesting. Listen to this. You are going to read a book this year that is going to change your life. That's what I got for my own sign. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what that book's going to be, but you go ahead and tell me. All right. Sometimes that does happen, though. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes that does. And I'm a little more dedicated. Actually, you guys, this year, I don't do resolutions, but I'm doing a couple intentions because it's happening organically, which is how I roll. This year, I've decided I'm not going to be scrolling at all on the apps. And so instead, I'm going to do things that are very intentional, like read books and more books, and also do some creative things that I enjoy, and also all the other things I have to do. So maybe I will be reading more books. Who knows? Okay, here we go. Oh, Libra. Coming in strong with 2 major arcana, the Hangman and the Virgo, and the card of Virgo, or the Hermit, right? I know. So and also Emma, you're a Libra rising. So here's what I'm getting about this for Libra. So, the hangman, this is the way my mentor, my tarot mentor trained me. She said the hangman really is having you look at a different perspective emotionally because it's connected in with water sign. It's a cups energy. And it's making you literally stop and reevaluate things, and not from like this heavily intellectual perspective, but from just a cause and effect reflection. And I would say definitely that's the place that Libra's in this few months, is that you are separating yourself from the things. Again, this is similar to Virgo, because remember, the signs progress. Like, you progress throughout like the zodiacs, 12 houses. And so if you consider this, it's very interesting, because the Libra is trying to, not again be in the thick of everything, step back and notice their motivations, and to get a little clearer, making more space for things that are more meaningful, whatever that might be for you, enjoying one's process, and getting a different look at things. And so I really feel like that is what we have going tremendously for the first quarter. It's a little bit like, I think you don't have to get caught up in all this stuff. You've got to really know, let people run the race. You don't have to run it with them. Okay. I love that for us. Okay, guys. So here we go. Let me pull some oracle for the first quarter for Libra. So if Libra, if this is you, this makes sense, let me know in the comments. And again, these will all be timestamped later. So if you have to bounce out, not a problem. That is okay. Oh my God, we got it, everyone. Oh, this is a message from my mom for me. My butterflies. Okay. Enthusiasm is here, and beauty, and trusting and seeing what's there. Again, we're getting all those, beautiful symbols around us of loved ones, or our validation from spirit, right? We talked about that. And also gratitude. Gratitude is here for us, Libra. It's always going to be, especially when you're someone who is, you're trying to, like, Libras are balancing, checks and balancing all of us, and sometimes measuring things. And that can really get you in your, I know, right? Butterflies, that can get you in your head a little bit. And I think this is getting you back into your center, back into your heart, back into your essence, connecting with what's really important, and not being so stressed out, and realizing that things are much better than you think. So that's just a beautiful energy for the start of the year for Libra. All right, let's take a look at the second quarter. Ooh, a choice to be made. A choice to be made. This is similar to Virgo. Okay, Two of Swords and the Page of Wands, right? So we always know the page is a time when we're going to be learning something. We're either apprenticing, or we are being mentored, or we are diving into something, and then we might have a little bit of a choice to make. So I feel like I'm kind of reading myself. So if you get a bit of that, I'm very sorry, but that's what I'm getting. Anyway, here's what I think about this. What I see about this, especially because we have the moon in the corner and we've got passion. I think this is not a bad thing. When we see Two of Swords, sometimes it's that card of like, oh, you're stuck. You're not working through stuff. You know what? Sometimes we need to stop and not be so sure about every decision and dive right in, you guys. Sometimes we actually need to like sit on the fence. And I think we've been so brainwashed in this society, this capitalistic society, that we need to always be so clear and keep it moving, or else we're going to fall off, and, get run over, that we have bought into the matrix. And so what we really need to do is like, let me dip in and reflect. I have to tell you guys something. So again, I'm referencing my daughter quite a bit, but I think this is just true for ourselves as well as other people. My daughter, here she is, 22, just graduated college. She's at the edge, the beginning of her adulting journey, and she doesn't know what she wants to do yet. And I was like, good, enjoy it. You take your time. Why you don't worry about it? She's not worried about it at all. I said, sit on the fence. Sit on the fence, look at the world. She's going to travel for a month. She saved her money, her and her boyfriend, and they're going to go overseas for a month, and just let it come to you. You don't have to know everything. And I would say this is the same is true for the Two of the Swords and the Page of Wands, because it's like, give yourself some time. Like, there's nobody behind you um, with poking you, saying if you stay here if too long, you're going to not be productive and you're not going to get stuff done and the world's going to fall apart. All your finances are going to blow up. No, actually, no, and no again. And so it's kind of that thing. I feel like Libra in this case, and again, this is part of the intellectualism of air signs, or having those energies and air signs. It's like, you know what? Let me get into my body a little more. Let me feel in my feelings. Let me get into my passion. Let me get into my lower chakras. Let me get into my grounding cord. Let me just fricking breathe, man, and just sit with it. And when I see these two together, I just feel like they're complementing each other, because the orange, and it's very interesting because tonight I actually grabbed an orange candle, which is very much like, a second chakra sacral candle. It's about passion and creativity. It's about, right? And we're going to have a full moon. I mean, here's the full moon. And so it's kind of like, be in the place where you are. Be in the place where you are. You'll figure it out. It's not meant to be this rush. Okay. All right. Let's see what for Libra, again, second quarter. Again, these messages can be true for anybody with any sign. It doesn't matter if it's resonating, it's resonating. So let's see what the oracle message is. Man, I missed reading for you guys. It's been so much fun. You know what this reminds me of? This really reminds me of a version of the Four of Wands. What do you guys think? This is delight. This is a version of the Four of Wands, but with like multiple people. And so again, this comes back to this point. This really complements this too. It's just like, be in this moment. Feel what you feel like, what feels right to you. Understand and enjoy that you are not, be in the moment. Because I know one thing that's been coming up for me a lot lately too, and why eventually I think I'm going to interview some people who've had near-death experiences. Michael might still be in here. Is that when we go to this place, when we can do this as anyone who, if you set your intention, you can kind of connect with that consciousness. But when we move to the other side, or the spirit world, we have none of these stupid concerns. We are not caught up in the bullshit that we go through, which is just like, did the bill get paid on time? Are we going to make that thing? What if we don't get there on time? Whatever it's going to be, the stressors of the future, right? I mean, oh my gravy. Like, let's just be here now. And let's just have gratitude for what is. It's so important. It's just not on a postcard. It's not like a Hallmark movie or commercial. It's really a vibration of connecting what it would be like to be on the other side right now. And that's the thing about being a medium, even days when you're like, oh, I don't feel so much like that now. That's why you still need to ask your guides for validation and a remembrance, because when you come to Earth, it's so bloody, easy to forget. So this is really coming in clear. I'm so thankful to the guides for this, because I feel like this is, again, these, if you look at these sweeties, they're a diverse group of little girls from all different walks of life, all children, happy and delighted, being in the moment, Mayday, the whole thing. I love it. And again, then we have this beautiful energy of communication and this young girl and the tiger. So for me, it's like, what is your deepest desire? What is it? Be in touch with the part of you that knows what's best for you, right? It probably doesn't have a lot to do with a huge to-do list. Okay, third quarter for Libra. Here we go. Maybe moving on from something, because we're getting the Eight of Cups and the the Ace of Wands here, Libra. I have to tell you something. This, I'm talking a lot. I think this helps for the collective. So if let me know what you guys think. So this is something I recommend all of you do. I'm going to be doing this in my membership. By the way, you guys should join my members. You guys should join my platform. I have a part of it that's a free thing, of course. And then I have a part of it that is I'll put the link in here. I'm a little bit informal right now. Let me get it for you. Un momento, please. So I had this idea about hang on. This is the new platform where I'm hosting my community. There's always going to be a free part. Of course, there's a paid part too, but go ahead and get yourself on there. It's called The Sanctuary. I digress. So one of the things that really came through to me this year is, and we're going to do this year. This is something we're going to do in my membership is what I want to say. I'm spitting it out. I pulled my card of the year, which I know some of you do too. And the card I got, and one of the primary goddesses I work with is Hecate. And she said, pull a card. And so I did. And I got the 8 of Wands. Okay. And for my card, which is a card of Sagittarius. It's a card of speed, action. It's a card of movement. It's a card of yes. It's a card of, it's all, trust me, kind of a card. And I'll see if I can find I think I put the deck away. So anyway, yes, I pick a word. Yes. And so she said to me, do you know what this means? And I went, well, I know what the card means to me, but she said, do you know what it means? I said, no. And she showed me all these little wands. I'll show you. No, it's from this deck. And she said, look at all the little green stems that are growing from there. So you're moving fast. Yes, that's the 8 of Wands. It's a very fast moving. It's one of the fastest moving cards there is in tarot of action and she said, in each little part, there's a part of me and there's things you're going to be growing and developing on this. And I just thought it was so beautiful the way she said it, of course, because it's Hecate. But also I thought to myself, when we're being asked to move forward in our lives and we are getting excited about that, we have to remember that in each little rung and nugget, there are some beautiful, little treasures that come up for us to just explore and sit with and enjoy the process. Again, not being in such I just found the card. Here it is. I'm like, okay. So anyway, here we go. So we're at the 8. So we're at the 8. You can see on this Ace of Wands, there's all that greenery. That is things blossoming. That's what it means. It's going from the place of the fire in creation, right, into something that's like the pentacles, which is earth energy, right? So that's the process. So here we go, 8 of Wands, and this is the card. This is my card of the year. You'll notice all the green stalks that are coming from there and the beautiful rooster who's alerting us to what's next. So what I want to say about that and the third quarter for Libra is definitely this time of things starting to sprout. This could be for anyone if this relates to you. As things are going to start moving and starting to sprout. You have to know there's never feast or famine. So it doesn't mean if something's coming into your life that is incredible and things are multiplying and manifesting, you don't have to say yes to everything. Okay. You can kind of say, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to look into that. Let me feel that out. You're not going to be losing an opportunity from anybody else. It's not like the well's going to dry up if someone's offering you something and that's going to be it. Or you better take advantage of that because that's not the way spirit works. All right. That's not the way it is. And in fact, the more you actually say, I don't know if I'm going to do that, the more you get the right thing. Okay. It's a very important message for a third quarter. And I know this too, because I know some of the planets that are going to be going on for Libra a lot of us that have to do with Jupiter around that time of year is something important. So take a look at Jupiter in the summer where that is for you. Okay. But look at this: compassion and miracles. For me, when I see a gateway, that's always connected typically to different dimensions, the Akashic Records, expansion. The ship has a lot to do with travel. Guess what? I want to travel in the fall, and I'd love to do, I sound like Elf. And I'd love to go to England, and I'd like to do a retreat. We'll see. Okay. So anyway, look at this too. There's a little thing for me. Hecate with the dog. If you guys know, you know. So there's a little validation. All right. Last part of Libra. Libra's gone a little off the rails. I apologize. You got a little mix of my own lessons, and I hope these things helped you. Okay. I know. I love New Zealand. You know, I adore New Zealand, and I love it. I love people there too. I know. I haven't been there now in 22 years. I love it there. A lot of special people in your neck of the woods. Okay, in your neck of the 10 of final cards are, this is the last quarter, 10 of wands, right? Coming to the end of a cycle, and then the death card. So for me, this is just another leg of the journey for Libra. It means that you are cycling out, finally ending things that probably you just don't have room for. So be really okay, Libra. This is the final word with the process of letting things go. You might think to yourself, oh, I better do it, or that's the way I'm supposed to do it. No, that's not, you don't need to. Do it the way you want to do it. Final two cards. Okay, for me, that's one of my guides, the swan. That's Lucifer for me. A little bit of silence. I mean, going within. This is very the end of the year, Kaliach. If you work with any of the goddesses that are winter goddesses, like I started working with the Kaliach, amazing Scottish goddess during that time of year. This is, and it's happening now. It's, if you're in the northern hemisphere, one of the best things you can do is winter with yourself and reflect, like at any of those times, to get a deeper sense of clarity, purpose, and meaning. And then final card, guess what, Emma? We got the strength card. That's for you too, because I know you're a dragon girl. So that's really just coming up blazing, Libra, right? Coming up blazing, knowing what's coming next. Also, maybe you're working with dragon energy, because some people do. All right. Thank you so much for all my Libras in the house. Okay. Now, I know we love our dragons. All right, guys. I love my Scorpios. Where are my Scorpios at? Where are my Scorpios at? Love them. Okay, I'm going to do a little burning. When I see my Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This has been so good, you guys. I'm going to do another cleansing. We're just at that point, friends. Sun, Moon, Rising. So we still are going to be doing Scorpio. We have Sagittarius. We have Capricorn. And we have Aquarius. And then we have Pisces. Good stuff. All right. We'll leave that burning for a minute. We love that. Okay. All right, guys. Here, my Scorpio ex is trying to come back around this week hardcore. See what I mean? That's a no. That's a me getting out my... That's me getting this out for you. All right. There we go. All right, here we go. And then we have messages too for Scorpio. All right, here we go. Scorpio. All right. If you watch this later, this is for you. Here we go. Scorpio, first quarter. Ooh, that came right out. Had to take it. Had to take it. Scorpio. Ooh, that's a good one. All right. Sun, Moon, Rising. There's the first quarter. Okay, here we go. They want 3. They're just being bossy when they're telling me stuff. They're just like, oh, we want this many. We want this many. Okay, here we go. Third quarter and the last quarter. All right, friends, there we go. Okay, let us go ahead and read the channeled messages that came from Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, this is a little bit of a lashing, but no, it's meant in love. All right, here we go. Settle down, settle down. You are so fired up for change and letting go. Let nature take its course. Not everyone is good at their job. And this is so funny. This was a little snarky too, which is kind of Scorpio, if I'm honest. this is what the guides were saying. Not everyone is good at their job, and things will take, let's see what I wrote. Things will, it's almost, I'll explain it to you because it may be hard for you to understand this part. It's kind of an interesting dynamic. Things will take time, like cycles will come into fruition. Like if this is essentially, we're talking about people that you might work with. Okay. Hear me. You are at your best when you let people be at their worst. What this means is take a step back. Okay. Let me explain this to you guys, Scorpio. So in some of you guys are going to be in working situations. Scorpio North Node. Okay. Hear me when I say this. Some of you guys are going to be in work situations where there are going to be people that are going to, you're going to look at them and shake your head. Okay. That's what the way they were showing it to me. And that you're going to be wondering things like this. How are they getting away with it? And why are they taking the easy route? And so, for a Scorpio, this would bother a Virgo too. For a Scorpio, that's like unnerving, it's like, what the heck? What are they doing? And wanting to call them out, wanting to like get to the bottom of it. Your guides are saying, please do not do that they will bury themselves. Okay. I'm going to explain that to you. They will do it to themselves. Don't get involved. That is so clear. This message was so funny to me. I'm like, okay, if that's what you have to say, we'll start with it. So here's what I'm saying. This has a lot to do with long-term goals. 10 of Pentacles is always going to be what's known as the legacy card or the long-term investment strategy, what you're building, what you're anchoring in, what you're investing in, often with finances, work, things of that nature. But then also to enjoy the process with the 3 of Cups has a lot to do with community and celebration and investing. And if we're doing it based on also the channeled message, for me, what this really means is don't sweat the small stuff. If someone's being, I hate to say with my language, really not performing well at work and it's driving you bananas, it's not your problem, right? Let them bury themselves. And it's not for you to judge. I almost feel like with some of you, this is what they were telling me. It's as though how some people just get up in arms when people that they work with are being negligent it's one thing if they're being unethical or illegal. That's a whole nother story. It's not what I mean. It's more if they're just kind of getting away and they're lazy, cutting corners, leaving work early, doing stuff they shouldn't do. They will get found out. You don't have to be the judge and jury. That's really what I was getting. And it feels very important to accentuate that, Scorpio. Okay. That kind of stuff, when I was working for other people years ago, that used to drive me bananas, right? I feel like that's like people in my family have that problem because we're always the ones who are nice and show up and do the right thing. But like, let them get themselves fired. Don't make it your problem. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. So take it for however you see that. Okay. Let's pull some oracle cards. Look at this. Compassion is here again. Okay. So having compassion, but also we're getting the card of faith, taking a leap of faith. So for me, if we're talking about that kind of circumstance, or if you're seeing other people win and they've really not been doing things the way probably they should be doing them, and that you have people that are, you have situations that feel difficult and challenging and you would like it to be a different outcome, know that everything's going to work out. That is exactly what the guides kept saying to me. Everything's going to work out. Don't worry about it, So that's important. Okay, next, second quarter. Okay, Scorpio, we have the Judgment card. Okay, the card of choice. And the card of you making a discerning direction of where you're going with a 6 of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. Okay, let's talk about this. Now, one thing about Scorpio is that you guys have a lot of energy in Mars. Mars is like an energy of battling, it's malefic. It wants to get into a fight. It wants to find the thing, it wants to prove something. And that's a little bit of that Knight of Wands energy. It's like, yeah, let me just get in there and do the thing. So here's what we need to understand. Somehow this theme seems important for Scorpios right now. So this is part of what we're getting. I think what we want to understand in this situation is, what is your long-term goal? Okay, Scorpio. Like, where do you, maybe you need to like look at where you want to be in 6 months. Where do you want to be in a year? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years, right? Of course things can change. You can tweak this a little bit, Scorpio, but I also am getting this sense here that because you're so passionate and concerned and you care so much, that you're getting a little bit caught up in the weeds and it's making you very hot. So it means that you're getting like inflamed or a little triggered by some of the behavior of again, of these groups of people, whoever they may be. They may be people you have as friends or in an organization or who knows what. But you have to go back to a place about being the bigger person. And you have to like let things go. But at the same time, you're going to get so much reward out of that in your energy. It's really what I'm getting. Okay. All right, Scorpio. So if you guys watch this later, please be sure to let me know if it makes sense. Okay. Here's what we got for Scorpio. Okay. This makes sense. This makes sense. Okay. This is very good. This is like focusing on like embracing. So we have the moon energy, right? We have that sort of Neptunian divine mother energy, you know, the psychic energy, the sort of depth of understanding. I feel your feelings, you feel mine, understandable. But then also look what we have here, abundance, right? This is the same as this card. This is, you know, we're focusing on these long-term goals of things that are going to work out in our favor. They're just all our goals we have. We're not sure exactly how we're going to get there, but we just know it's going to happen. So having a lot of confidence in that, I think, is very important. Third quarter coming in. I'm a little excited, Scorpio, because look at this. I'm hearing you built this. You built this. So we have a Fool card with the 7 of Pentacles. So here's what I'm getting. They're made for you. This is third quarter. So this is moving into the fall. So third quarter for you could look like a change in address. You might be moving. There could be a change in direction, possibly moving into a new department at your company or maybe moving into a new job. I'm also hearing you're really evaluating like how much you're earning. You're looking at earning potential, how much you want to make. You're looking at how much you're investing, how much you're spending. There's just a good evaluation of your finances, which is excellent. And things in general are going well. That this will obviously make a time for you to be able to discern things or let some things go too. So that is excellent. Okay, let's see what the cards are. Oh, yes, we're getting joy and acceptance. It's a good space. These are very compatible with the last cards we just chose too, right? Joy and acceptance. This is just being in a spaciousness of, it's very much like where the Fool is. The Fool, see how much his body language, he's just so open and trusting. And so are both of these women. They're just open and trusting. They don't have a care in the world. Their energy's not closed down. And also they have a lot of blues and pinks and oranges. These are all colors of like healing and open communication and pleasure and creativity and passion. It's just a lot of, you know, good energy coming. So again, 2026 for most of us, it's going to be so much better than 2025. So enjoying that process. Okay, Scorpio. Okay, last final cards. Woo! Starting out strong for the last quarter. We pulled the card. We got 2 here, right? We have the Magician, and then we also have the Justice card. These are powerful. A Libra, right? I love it. We got the Libra card here, and then also the Creator card, Magician. This is just, you know, I think more than likely, Scorpio, this has to do with earning potential. I'm getting this something more about manifesting and money here. That's one of the things, or manifesting more of what it is you desire. And I think that there's just a lot of strong anchor energy of you going, okay, what am I doing in 2027? Like, I feel like you put down pins, almost like placeholders throughout the year to kind of keep you centered, keep you grounded, help you understand what's required for each section of what you're doing. So you really got your head on in a really good place right now. You're going the distance. You're not distracted by, you know, squirrel or things that don't work. You don't get frustrated if things don't work exactly. So this is a really good bit of wisdom, like don't give up after 2 weeks kind of a thing. Okay, what are the last 2 cards? We have Peace, and then we have Voyage. Again, this could be a little bit of traveling. We have the Peace card coming out. That looks so lovely. That looks like the monks walking for peace. Love it. And there's just a sense of like place. And then also you're very protected. You have, the fingers of these beautiful like cherry blossoms, we'll call them, and how you notice how they are fingered together like that, creating peace and structure, but also knowing that you're divinely protected. And then finally, again, we're getting the Voyage card. So this to me has something to do with travel, expansion, but also in your own energy doing that as well. So beautiful reading. Okay, Sagittarius. Okay, where my Sag is at in the room. Sag, sun, moon, rising. It's funny because I have all my top 3 are all go in this order: Libra, Scorpio, Sag. So funny. All right. So for those of you who are watching later, or if you consider yourself to have a strong place in a Sagittarius, this is for you. So let's just take a look at the energy. Again, we are going to be we're going to go back to my notes, the channeled notes, which I've been really enjoying, and then getting some confirmation. We're also going to look at things per quarter, starting with the first quarter for Sagittarius. Let's see what we got. All right, Sag, if you're out there, make sure also you guys are subscribing, as well as putting in the thumbs up and commenting on these videos later if you watch them. I appreciate all your support. Again, being part of this channel just means the world to me, and I thank you so much for being here and watching and supporting. All right, here we go. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, first quarter. Sagittarius, second quarter. They want me to shuffle again. Okay, Sagittarius, third quarter. And final quarter, Sagittarius. All right, we did pretty well. Tidy. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look and listen to the notes for Sag. Are we ready? Oh, it's funny. I was channeling these. I'm like, oh, interesting thing. Okay, you ready, Sagittarius? Here's your channeled message. Something going on. So, okay, here's again. If I say anything that's physical, it doesn't mean do not worry. It's mainly showing up as some kind of energy to have you just be cognizant of, and it's meant to help you work through anything that might be related to the energy that might come up, and it may not be for you, but it's never anything to be worried about, just something to acknowledge. Okay, so Sagittarius, something is going on with your legs this year. Be mindful, stretch, strengthen them. Pay attention when you are hiking, climbing, doing things outdoors. Okay, they said this word, which I knew it wasn't me. That was my guides. The way they said it, they said doing calisthenics. I was like, if you know, one of my primary guides, his name's Fielding, and you're a Sag sun, amazing. One of my primary guides is English. His name is Fielding. So he gives me these words sometimes. I'm like, okay, calisthenics. So anyhow, okay, doing calisthenics is good for your health. Some of you are in, and listen to this. Some of you are in numerology are in an 8-year. Okay, building things that you value, earning more, allow yourself to enjoy more. Be careful of hang on. Okay, so be careful of your drive to succeed. That's what they said. So there we have it. Okay, Sagittarius, you ready? So paying attention to the legs, stretching, calisthenics. Okay, here we go. 7 of Pentacles and the Fool card coming out strong here. Okay, so Sagittarius, knowing your voraciousness to movement and getting things done, and often sometimes like having a hard time with patience and just wanting to get to the finish line. I think that's why there's something coming up here about moving forward. Okay, so if there is something that you're starting new in your life, or are you rebuilding from something you've done before, remember, in order to move forward from 7 to the number 8, 9, 10, you have to let go of some things. So you can use that stick that you have, the walking stick and the stick that's holding your pouch, to like help release some of these pentacles here that have maybe been burdening you that don't fit anymore. So understand you are building something. and you can use the passion and the transmutation and the fire that you carry within you, that have deep level of knowledge you have, to remove some of the obstacles that you may be feeling when it comes to, um, getting. I feel like with some of you Sagittarius, there are things that you feel hang you up. You would know those more specifically, case by case, but that those things kind of do drive you a little bit bonkers. And so understanding that you can ask your guides, this is what they're telling me, you can ask your guides to show you what those things are in energy form so that you can transmute them. I'm almost getting an image of like that stick, which is right here in their hand, like using that stick and imagining if there's any blockages that you would just knock those off and they would just disintegrate, something like that. So there's this new journey you're going on, but at the same time, there's need to clear energy. Okay. I love that. All right. Let's get into some oracle cards for you. Just pull these. I am hearing you've been waiting for an answer to something. That's what I'm hearing. Feedback, an answer, direction, something like that. You've been waiting for an answer. And I'm hearing this is your answer. This is your answer that you're getting now. Okay. So we got, again, the card of faith. We got the card of joy. And we got the card of acceptance. So if you, hang on, I gotta take a sip of tea. My throat's getting scratchy. Thank you. If you have been feeling like you want to get something almost perfect before you do it, or that you've been feeling a little bit pent up, and that there's a need somehow here to let you stretch yourself. But I think the way you're worried you're going to do it the way you have always done things in the past, was just quick, get it done and knock it out. What you can say is ask your guides to take off and help you release the old way of doing things, and to lay down new foundation, a new track to do it a different way that's more gentle, more understanding, things of that nature. So working with your guides in order to make this manifestation come into fruition. That's what I'm getting. Interesting. All right. Second quarter. This would be April, May, June. All right. Again, with the Libra card here, and then the Four of Swords. So this is actually really a good energy. It's an energy when we're looking at anything to do with the swords in general, even if it's, the Justice card, which makes sense. Good. So if we're looking at anything with the Justice card, that has to do with balances, checks and balances, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, balancing things out, understanding the other side of things. But I do feel like you're doing that, and in different parts of your life. This isn't just relationship related. This is definitely different parts of your life. And I see that happening more in the second quarter, of like, you're able to step back a little more, which is so good for you, and to assess, like, if maybe some things are going slower, you understand why, and you're not trying to make room for other things. There's just a deeper sense of peace here and enjoyment. This is a very mature perspective. You're not trying to compete with anyone else in this whatsoever. That's amazing for you to do, because I know Sagittarius can be competitive, mainly because they like a good challenge. This is different for you though. Okay. All right. So again, we're getting these two cards. This is very interesting. This keeps coming up, even though I shuffle. We're getting the compassion card, and then also the strength card again. This is you. If you look at the dichotomy between this and then the dragon, this is learning to gently balance the part of you that's really strong, and learning that, you don't have to, again, you don't have to rush to get anywhere. You don't have to make sense of anything for anybody else. You're just in a place, and you have more compassion for yourself when you're not pressuring yourself. I think you know that. So it's just reaffirming what you already know. So that's the second quarter. It looks pretty great. Okay. Third quarter, which would be then the late part of the summer. into the spring, into the fall. We have the King of Cups and the Six of Swords. This is a wonderful combination too. I almost feel like for you, Sagittarius, it just makes sense. You're really looking at other people like, well, if the shoe was on the other foot, maybe I wouldn't be handling it as well as I am. You're having a deep of sense this year, especially of what it's like for others to struggle and actually how good you have it. And I think it's making an indelible impression on you. That's what I'm getting. And that is that, we have nothing to lose when we see things in a positive light when it comes to other people and situations. And so in general, I feel like this is, your time to be in that seat of maturity. It is so helpful to be there. Believe me when I tell you. So non-reactionary and just neutral. All right, let's go ahead and pull you some oracle cards. Oh, again, you got the compassion. We did shuffle the deck. I love that. But also we got emerging. This is one of my plant allies, is the fern. The fern is a lovely energy to connect with. The consciousness of a plant ally is wonderful. So I'm really kind of feeling that. And that's a lot to do very much like an energy of compassion, gentleness, understanding, mercy. So very good stuff. Okay, here's the last 3 cards for you, which is kind of interesting because I pulled 3. We got the Queen of Pentacles, right? And then the 9 of Wands, and then the Page of Cups. It's kind of carrying a lot from many different signs with the exception of Swords. But so your year ending up feels to me and towards the end, like about a little less than a year from now, there's this deep sense of clarity and maturity and not feeling like you need to keep up with anyone else or have competition with anybody else in your mind, nor do you judge yourself for, the choices you make and what you're doing. There's just really someone who's very comfortable in their own skin in this next year and being open to learning and growing as well. Because the Page of Cups is also an open-hearted, still learning soul. So, but with the wisdom of the Queen of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands, it's a nice combination. Okay, let's get you for your oracle cards. We have fulfillment. This is beautiful. This is lovely. So we have fulfillment and then energy. So I feel like in general, the place you're at right now to these Sages I'm speaking to, there is definitely this deep sense of wisdom, of carrying insight with you, and of knowing how, easily, it is easier for you to stay in a place of alignment than it is to feel trapped in a cycle that's not healthy. So you're really ahead of the game is what I'm seeing. And yeah, your energy looks so amazing. So I love that for you. I can't wait to see how the year goes. Thank you, Sagittarius. All right, here we go. Yes, we're moving into Capricorn. Now, who's a Capricorn up in here? I know we usually have a Capricorn. They may not be here tonight, but I want to say hello to my Capricorns. I'm glad that's making sense. Cap rising. My daughter's a Capricorn. Love me some Capricorn energy. All right, this is so fun. Okay, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to just start shuffling the deck. I got some interesting messages from my guides for Capricorn. So we'll see what you guys think. All right, we're going to get it started. All right. My daughter is a Cap and I'm a Cap stellium. Ooh, see, yes. My daughter's a Cap too. Okay. I love that, Emma. All right. Here we go, loves. Let's get it. All right. All right. Again, this is Capricorn. We love you so much. Sun, moon, rising, or Venus. I am going to be then sharing a channeled message too that came in before I did the setup for my live today. So let's see what we got. All right, this is the first quarter. Again, we're doing this in quarters, everybody, which are 3-month segments. And then we're pulling also oracle cards with them at the end. Easy peasy. All right, let's get it. I love an order. All right, ready? All right, let's see what I got. Okay. All right. Take a deep breath, Capricorns. Forgive yourself. Split your time between tasks that are necessary and tasks you enjoy. It's an important time for you to understand that both sides are very important, right? Both tasks are very important, equally so. Also, very important for Capricorn is the symbol of an owl. Okay, that came through. So that's going to be a symbol for you looking for an owl. Could be your guides, could be your loved ones in spirit, could be a goddess you work with. It's up to you. So the symbol of the owl is going to be important to you this year. And that's what I got, Capricorn. All right, let's get it. They tell me the most interesting things and I just go with it. So I don't question. Okay, here we go. First quarter for Capricorn. What do we have? Ooh, I'm hearing look over your shoulder. Page of Swords and the Three of Wands. So, the Page of Swords is yay, Linda. The Page of Swords is very conscientious. And even though they're nimble and they are on the move and they do move fairly fast, and there's swift change ahead, but they're also conscientious. So they're trying to pay attention to what they might be missing. Okay. So they sometimes get a little caught in their head about that process. And then they feel a little disoriented. So that's not uncommon, just so you know. But then we're right next to the Three of Wands, which is this part of you that wants to grow, that wants to expand, maybe wants to travel, work overseas, or at least have correspondence there. There's this enterprising energy. So sometimes I think there's a little bit of a push-pull for you in this first quarter here. Capricorn, is that part of you wants the practicality and be able to have, like, say, for example, consistent things happen in your life. This could be financial, friendships, relationships, routines, pretty much any area of your life. But then a part of you is like, oh, but I just want to travel. I just want to go out into the world. I just want to experience things. And I just want to, be on the move. Understand you can blend these two parts of yourself. This is really what I'm hearing. Because I said in the beginning, they were saying, make time for the structure in your life and what you need I apologize. Forgive yourself, split your time between tasks that are necessary and tasks you enjoy. So you can have both of these things. Okay. The main thing is being in the center and leaning in. They don't have to be in conflict with each other. So that's very important. Your guides are really doubling down on that. Okay. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Swords, like having a clear idea, communicating what you need and desire, and letting both things happen. And it will happen. It just doesn't feel like it right now. And I understand that. It's not always easy. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got for your oracle for the first quarter. All right. Okay, we have some beautiful energy coming out. Okay, we have abundance, multiplying, and then we have embracing. Again, very much like a Jupiter energy and the moon energy. So two energies that are this is like a very astrologically based energy, because it's almost like when Saturn and Jupiter are like intersecting and they may be squaring each other. And, here Saturn wants to contract and have structure and eliminate some things and have a routine, and things are being consistent. And then we have Jupiter's like, yay, more, expand. I like it. Let's grow. So we have to, yeah, exactly. So we have to learn how to embrace both parts of ourselves and to make it make sense to us and give each part of ourselves a little bit of a seat at the table. That's really what I'm getting. And you're going to be able to figure this out is really what I'm hearing. Okay. All right. Second quarter. I love it. You have some good energy here. We saw this in another reading earlier. All right. This is again, April, May, June. We have the Three of Cups and the Lovers. Lots of good stuff coming in for you here, Capricorn. So one thing I want to say about that is there's, I'm almost feeling this thing about someone's really trying to impress you, make you smile, make you feel comfortable. and to validate you. And you're just almost not willing to crack a smile until you have more information and evidence. That's what I'm hearing. Like you're saying, oh, that must be nice. I'm not ready to celebrate yet. That's kind of like I'm hearing, play your cards right. Make sure it's okay. So understand that this is something that's going on for you. And it might have to be with just letting yourself have the wins that work and letting yourself enjoy what is working, not thinking so much about the things that you think aren't working. And to kind of let the inside of the day be, it doesn't need to be perfect. I'm going to enjoy it as it is in this moment. And, here's the things I have that I'm very grateful for. I think there's just a little bit of that. Okay. Let's see what the oracle cards are for you. All right, Linda. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones from this deck. I love it so much. It's such a beauty. All right. So first of all, we have the focus again with our loved ones in spirit there. That's how I feel about this. We have the beautiful butterfly, just so pretty. And then we have the card of love. Isn't she a beauty? So this has a lot to do with, again, coming from the place of the heart center, having that be your focus. That's how you blend these two different ways of doing things. That's really what I'm getting. And you have to really trust the process. I'm hearing, I think you do trust yourself. I just think that you've put things into categories. This is what they're telling me. And that you're making good things small. So try to think expansively like Jupiter does. Okay. All right. Next. Oh my gosh. This is the third quarter. Lots of intellectual energy. thinking, overthinking. We have the King of Swords and then we have the Knight of Swords. I'm already feeling a little bit like my third eye is like getting bonked around a little. Okay. So what I want to let you know for the fall, for that earlier fall, I almost am getting something. Some of you, but not all of you, Capricorn, have possibly some prominent planets in an air sign. And you have to look at your astrology chart, and there's a way that it gets really up into your third eye and kind of makes you see things or shut down seeing things and getting a little bit distorted. And the very common, don't worry. The Knight of Swords is definitely going in and trying to like fix this problem and take charge of it, right? So if you're thinking, okay, I have a block, I have to work on it, then I got to clear this out. So it's almost like they're saying the more you jump into trying to fix something, the more resistance it'll have, the more it will dig in. So make sure just to enjoy the process. Okay. All right. Let's see what the oracle cards are here to say for you. Oh, that's so pretty. We haven't pulled this one yet. This is one of my favorite cards. And now perfectionism, right? Listen, you got it, girl. This is something I'm really getting. This is so beautiful. Look at this card. It's one of my favorites. It's called Essence. And then also notice the goldfish. That's a very auspicious good luck in like ancient Asian symbolism. When it comes to fish, they're really meant to be good luck, fortune, abundance, things like that. But also you got silence. So I think this might just really come down to, again, connecting with your guides, asking for things to be simple, feeling led if you're able to start doing some meditating. I know you've been doing some of this already. And, learning to trust yourself more and more and more. That's really what I'm getting. So I love that. Okay, Capricorn. Okay, final quarter. Are you ready? We have what? The moon card. I have this friend who's an astrologer, and when she creates her videos, she does the moon like every day. And she'll say this. She goes, the moon, she is in Gemini. I just love it. I'll have to have her come on our show sometime. Okay, 8 of Cups and the moon card. This is for the final quarter of the year. This is really, I think that you're getting to a point, Capricorn here, where because let's face it, many of us, and you can probably say this if you're even watching, here with us tonight, and you're on your spiritual path. Okay. So you're being conscious and paying attention to the times of like when you're stuck, when you're evolving, you're reflecting, and we're always growing. And so I kind of feel like you're just this point, especially as we get towards the end of this year, that you're really ready to like put down your stick. I'm almost seeing like the guys that are the people, I should say, that climb mountains and they put a stake in with their flag at the end of their, hike. I kind of see that with Capricorn. Is like, okay, I climbed up the mountain. I parlayed. I went back and forth, and it took forever. And this is what I ended up doing. You're just on a journey, and again, learning to expand and explore yourself. And, it looks really promising. I mean, it just looks really good. Okay. Cards, please. Joy coming out again. And the strength card, like I love a lot of these duplicates. It's great. So we have again that first chakra, which is at the base of your spine, and the second chakra, which is the sacral. This is all about passion and joy and movement, inspiration. And just, you celebrating. This seems to go a lot with like trusting your intuition and your spirituality, but also the strength card has it's a lot like the strength card in tarot, where you see that there is this woman taming the lion. You're like feeling deeper sense of self here of like, hey, I really have, overcome so much. So make sure you look back on these times and really validate yourself for what you do, the work you have done, what you're receiving. Okay. I love that. Thank you so much, Capricorn. Okay. We have 2 more to go, friends. This has been so fun. I love doing these annual ones. These are really fun. I might do another half-year one in June. We'll see how we go, but just stay tuned. Also, I just want to say, if you are here hanging out, thank you so much for being here. Oops, that's the wrong thing. I also want to let you know, if you are considering, you would like to I have a little bit of a contact list I'm doing. I guess you could say it's a survey, but and I'm going to be picking from this at random one person who will get a free 30-minute reading from me. So you just put your name and then your email address, and then I'm going to use one of those raffle things and raffle it off, and one person will be getting it, and I will announce it tomorrow. All right. So let me see what we have for Aquarius. Okay. So again, if you're new here, I'm so excited you're here. My name is Carrie Koss. I am a psychic medium. And I do a variety of things on this channel that I completely enjoy, that are all connected to helping you, first of all, bringing forth messages and guidance and energy healing based from the work I do with readings. And I do those 2 days a week. And those are filmed. And I also live stream once a week. But I'm going to start also posting educational videos on all the different topics that you guys ask me about, that I train people on. So I'm still excited. So make sure you're subscribing and you're interacting with my videos. It helps my channel so much. All right. This is for Aquarius. You can just do your address, your email and your name is fine, sweetie. You don't have to worry about the street address, since we're going to do that over Zoom. But thank you for asking that, Elizabeth. Okay, here we go. Ready? We have 2 more to go. We have this one, and then we're going to do Pisces. So, all right, here we go. And again, I've also channeled messages for every sign. I've been putting that in, and so we'll be also adding that in once I shuffle this first quarter. Okay, thank you, sir. All right. Oop, that came right out. Ooh, that's popping out. Okay, I guess you're going to be doing something new in the fall. All right, there we go. And final card. All right. Okay. All right, Aquarius, you ready for your message? Let's see. We want to move near grandkids. but in Ohio and Arizona and hard decisions. Oh, Phoenix's daughter-in-law from Japan. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my God. Thank you for mentioning that, Elizabeth. I know, just threw it together. That's me. Amy's like, Aquarius. I love you, Amy. Love you guys. Yeah, I love me some Aquarius. Okay, you ready? Amy. I've done that just for Amy. It's like, Amy, here's your reading. Okay, this is for Aquarius. A year for structure in your life. You will feel the limitations of it. Okay, so what they gave me this image of you standing and in a room, but it's not really a room, and it's got four corners on it, and you feel a sense of it being you feeling pressure, but mainly I know that Aquarius does also like the energy of Saturn because I think that's one of your planets. But you're getting a little more of that, but it's the reason you're getting that feeling of being confined is so that you'll really be in resonance with what is true for you, whatever you're manifesting, creating, or putting together. It's all part of that. That's what they were showing me. Pardon me. So here we go. This comes from this limitation from your spirit, your higher self, and your guides. But trust that it is for your highest good of highest and greatest good. Empty out your intentions and let spirit guide you. Like, this was super strong. Okay, Aquarius, this came in like the clearest thing. And I'd already channeled like 10 of these, right? Okay. All right. Let's see what we got for you. Okay. Right away. Here we go. It's funny, because everyone's like, oh, a water bearer, you must be a water sign, Aquarius. No, Aquarius is of course, a sword. It's a air sign. But it is interesting that we get the water bearer, and I wonder, you'll look into that, what that means. Okay, so here, this is interesting. I was thinking water bearer because there's the Queen of Cups. So we have the Seven of Swords. Sorry, the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is exactly what I was mentioning to you, Aquarius, about limitations in space, limitations with energy, rules, structure. I know sometimes when we need it the most, having structure and guidelines is the best thing for us, because then we can, even though we love Aquarius, they also tend to like some freedom because they're outliers. But I also think you enjoy having things be done like sometimes a certain way. And so part of that is going to help you now. That's what I was really getting with what you're doing, your mission, what you're doing, your spiritual work, stuff like that. All right. They want me to use these cards. So we're going to use those, the witch, everyday witch. Let's see what we got. Ooh, that came right out. Oh my God. Okay. This is making sense. I'll just say there's something here, Aquarius, to do with water. And because we're getting two things, we're getting water magic. Okay. Knowing that water is a conduit, water has consciousness, and then cleansing body and spirit. Okay. So I just want to say, I think setting your intentions, you could use water as a conduit, obviously. And speaking into water, I just get this whole like download of that. That's how you can work and release energy, is by using intention setting, and learning about the basics of it, right? There's a lot of magic here, and also a lot of power, and also a lot to do with healing. That's part of what I'm getting here for you. All right, let's go into the second quarter, Aquarius. Okay, here we go again. Reflection, because we have the Virgo energy, which is Mercury. And then we also have the Two of Swords. So there's something that you're going to be split about as you just get past your birthday season, essentially. And as I'm looking at that energy, I feel like maybe this has to do with people that you might have been connected to, or maybe associates, or just in your proxy sort of thing. And And what it looks like to me is I see you, an image of you pulling your energy away, needing to adjust. Not everybody, as we know, like we can be very laid back and have a sense of, oh, people can do what they want. It's none of my business. But then you can have things that do affect you and your family and, your children. And you're like, but we can't be around that energy. I feel like I'm wanting to talk about that here. Okay. Examination of like how others treat us and other people. Like even I'm seeing you kind of picking up on this when you're even out to eat with some people you've known a very, very long time and they're being not polite. That's a red flag for you. It's interesting. So I'll just give you that. All right, let's see what we got when it comes to, oh, this is a good one. Again, some water. That's me. Yeah. Okay. Affirmation for positive change. Look at that. So probably you want to look at doing some of that. I think that will be very helpful. And that is just being able to, as we know, not just stuck in our head and thinking things have to be that way, but we can change it by how we think about it and doing some of that energy work. Okay. I love that for you. All right. Let us continue. Let us continue. All right. So it's funny. This one popped out really prematurely, Aquarius. This is third quarter. We have 2 leaders of the pack. 2 entrepreneurial energies coming out third quarter. So that would be, I keep doing this January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Okay. So like late summer, early fall. There's something new going on. Like I'm saying, a lot of people I think are starting new things next year. For me, this looks a little bit for you more like October. So that could mean you taking on something differently with work or putting down roots and doing something new with a project or in general that, there's something that you are, I want to say working on, exploring, investigating, things like that. And so being aware of that, I think is interesting. Let's see. Let's pull some cards on that. What's that about? Accept love. Plant the seeds. Some opportunity coming up is what I'm getting. This is like a love project, maybe something that you do on the side. You're going to be growing it or starting it. But it feels like the fall feels like the right thing. That's what I'm getting. All right. Last 2 cards, my Aquarius. This is Sun, Moon, Rising. Again, if you're new, thank you so much for being here. My name is Carrie Koss. I am a medium and a mentor, and we are doing Zodiac energy forecast for the entire 2026. And these will all be time-stamped, of course. If you are interested in receiving, you're going to be put on a list. And then there's going to be a raffle, and one of you, except you're not paying for it, I would say you're just getting on a list, and then one of you is going to receive a free 30-minute reading, and that'll be happening. I'll reach out to you tomorrow to set that up. Okay. Final 2 cards for Capricorn. We're looking at the Emperor and the 7 of Pentacles. He is like the stalker card. That's what I'm getting. So I think this is a little bit of you being in a place of wanting to, I don't know if this is to do with his work or with things in general, but I feel like this could be either you or a partner. And there's a level of frustration with your person or could be with you too, and wanting to make some changes. It feels like this is connected to work. But then again, there's a sort of a doubt about the competency of some of the people he works with, and whether they'll be able to handle, changes is what I'm getting, which is a very interesting energy. I almost feel like this is something that is going to be accumulative and will affect both of you because the people I'm getting here are like a couple. And so I would say take a look at all the nuance that's involved here is what I'm getting with the situation before you make a final choice. Feels very much similar to what we saw with some of the other readings to do with work and getting frustrated and feeling like people are just, why don't they just get it? They're not, they're not going with the program. So there's something to be said about that. Okay, let's see what the final 2 cards are here. Imagine and envision. Meditation for creativity. This is, again, a lot to do with self-care, putting time into your creative energy and your consciousness so that you can, have a place to express that and to be able to channel it. I'm finding for myself lately that I've got to make more time for creative things, because we need to have balance, right? So I feel like the same is true here for you. So thank you so much, Aquarius. I appreciate you. Okay, last one of the night we have is Pisces. Or do I have any Pisces in the audience? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm pretty excited. This is my husband's sign. Let me take another sip of water. Okay, last and final card. And I did channel something for Pisces as well. Okay, friends, here's the last one of the night. Pisces moon. Pisces, that's a nice place to have a moon. Very harmonious there. There's a word for that. Yeah, I'm studying astrology and there's a lot of these terms, but she likes being in that position. Okay, ready, friends? Here we go. This is for my Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Ooh, letting that go. We're going to take it. Okay. Oh, that's a good thing. It came out. Wasn't expecting it to, but I'm going to take it. Oh boy, there's a lot. Whoa. Okay. They're wanting to flip it. They want to be dramatic. So I'm kind of going with it. Okay, Pisces. Letting go. A lot going on of letting go. I've got some reversals and something, or at least some of these guys. This is pretty great. All right. And then final 2. Here we go, my friends. Wasn't expecting to see both of these. All right. So again, we're going to read what I wrote. Your youngest is, your great son. I know. I love a Pisces, and I was going to say Neptune has been in Pisces for a long time, but now it moved into Aries, very different energy. All right, here we go for Pisces. This is your year. You feel like you are at the very end of a cycle that has taken such a long time for you. Challenging periods will be shortened. Trust the process. They were just so clear about that. I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to actually change the deck that I do for Oracle for this one. Hang on. Okay. And away we go. I do the Inner Child deck, which has some beautiful imagery. Okay, to our friends, Pisces, what we're going to expect for our sweet Pisces here? We have lovely energy coming up. So whenever we see the devil in reverse, we are rejoicing because this shows that remember the message we got, right? Let me read it again. You feel like you are at the very end of a cycle that has taken such a long time for you to complete. Challenging periods will be shortened. Trust the process. Well, that is exactly what this is. That you stayed persistent and faithful, the Knight of Pentacles. And you did so. You let go of your attachments, possibly your addictions or things that kept you stuck in cycles that are completely against your highest good. Now, let's say you have a younger child, like we're seeing here, that is getting this reading. How would that look for them? Well, it would be different. Things would just start getting a little easier. They might have a little bit more perspective. Emotionally, they don't get as defensive. There's a little tiny bit more clarity for them about what they want to do, who they are. And they don't feel as much a need to have as much perfectionism. That's something I'm really, really getting for that first cycle for Pisces, which is very interesting. Love that so much. All right, let's see what we got for Pisces for this first quarter with the oracle cards. Okay, let's get the right message here, please. What the message is you want us to hear. What do you want us to know? All right. Thank you very much. Please and thank you. Okay. I just got that card. I got to take it. Okay. I got to take these 2 cards. This is so beautiful. Okay, Pisces. I love it. The first one, this is beautiful. And I got all these arches. It says, pull yourself close. Every part of your being is deserving of love. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other final one for this first quarter, you are enough. You do not have to give more. I mean, so beautiful. Powerful. And whenever I see arches, what that means for me, it's my symbol that we're going through different, we're emerging from places where in spirituality, spiritual places and planes into higher dimensions, right? To have more access to our level of light, proximity to spirit. Beautiful. Second quarter is very interesting because I'll tell you what this is about. Of course, we have the Tower. Always seems dramatic no matter how you slice it. Next to the 3 of Swords. So here's what I'm really getting for Pisces. For some of you, the thing you've been protecting and closing off is your heart. Like you have had a chamber around your heart is what I'm seeing. But with the interest of this, the Tower coming on, notice how that chamber, it completely gets dismantled and destroyed. So anything that might have seemed like it was negative or scary or something, your subconscious, you're letting that go. Like you're letting it go. Super interesting. All right. And sometimes, before we face our fears, the fear is the worst part of it. And this can be attached to so many things. I could go down a rabbit hole with that. It becomes its own sort of monster until you face it. And it's like, oh, you weren't that scary. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Once you go in, then you see what's behind the big voice. It's this tiny little person. That's what I heard. All right, here we go. Review your responsibilities. Not all responsibilities are ours to hold. Love that. So good. And then the final one is, I'm really getting for you to like reach out to the angels too, by the way, Pisces. This says, do what you need to do. It may be difficult, but now is the time. Perfect. Love it. All right, let's get to the third quarter. Wow. Again, this will be January, March, April, May, July, August, September. I keep having to do that. Okay, we're getting Ace of Cups, which is the beginning of something where we have love coming in, not necessarily a long-term relationship, but and emotional health and healing. Just beautiful. And then it's next to the 4 of Swords, which is always like a great deal of understanding, compassion. And the thing I'm getting about this third quarter for you, Pisces, is that you are really standing back. You're so out of the loop of trying to intellectualize and understand sometimes, like if things don't go in the direction you had hoped. But you're now at the place where the way you're checking in with yourself is by understanding, how can I get to where I want to go in the most efficient way? Yes, but also the way that is most connected to my heart. And it's interesting, if you notice right here, the hands of the praying soldier, it's right over his heart. And you have that, sword coming down. So it's really making him focus on the heart. And then if you guys know about the Ace of Cups, that's like from a manna from heaven. I always look at it as, the endless the endless goblet that's being filled by spirit. And so it's a matter of sitting right there where you are and realizing, wow, I really have it pretty good. Life is good. That's such a great place to be. And this is like a theme for tonight. Okay, let's do the inner chop. Be true to who you are. Fear will not stop you from shining. Look at that Pegasus unicorn, I should say. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay, this is the last one of the night. Drum roll. Just another reminder, if you would like to be put into the drawing, one person is going to win a 30-minute free session from me. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, comment. It helps my page so very much, and I really appreciate it. Again, it's been great to be with you tonight. My name is Carrie. I am a medium and a mentor, and I'm so excited to have been here with you tonight. I'm here every Friday night live. Sometimes I'm going live during the week, so I hit it on my ring on my little, that was pretty cool. All right. Last of the night. That was funny. We have Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, which are it's a lovely combination. It really, really is. And so what does this mean for us? Essentially, the Queen of Pentacles, this is really showing you, Pisces, towards the end of this year, being so focused on what is important to you, your values, your home, the things that you're interested in, the things you want to invest in and interpret and grow in. And there's a lot of emphasis for me, Pisces, on working on your health. I feel like some of you are going to create a routine, a nice routine that works for you, to get out and walk consistently and eat a little healthier. I'm hearing that too. But also when we're at the point of the Six of Pentacles, that means we're really comfortable with where we are, how much we can give to the people we care and love and about, and like how much we can also just say no to people that are asking for things. So you're in a very good place. Okay, let me go ahead and get your last two oracle cards. It's been so fun being here with you guys. We have today is the day. It's time to begin the journey. Connect to eternity within. Let yourself be held by love. And accept what is. The act of acceptance will bring peace. Okay, today is the day. It's time to begin your journey. And then we have the beautiful connect to eternity within. Let yourself be led by love. All right. And then I feel like I lost one. Final one. I think I got it. Accept what is. The act of acceptance will bring peace. That was that whole card that goes back here. Not that you're laying down and forgetting what you need, but there's a sense of just like, I am well. It is well with my soul. That's really what I'm getting. Oh, this was so much fun, you guys. Thank you so much. This was one of my favorite lives. Do I say that every time? Almost. But I just really want to thank you all so much. I love spending time here. I appreciate everyone who follows me, who's a subscriber. It means the world to me. Again, I would love for my primary thing to be on social media, would be on YouTube. I love this app so much. I love spending time with all of you. And I hope you please watch my videos that I post, the readings I post, the education, and watch them all the way through. Comment. Thank you so much, Emma. I appreciate you so much for your support. Thank you so much. Yes. So I would love for YouTube to be my primary. It just means so much to me. I love the content. I love the format. I'm going to be working even harder. It's my second year with the channel starting this year, and I'm starting to work, with a wonderful mentor who I think is, not just with how she helps people. And it's all that Saturn energy of structure and routine and, really getting things stabilized and grounded. That's my desire for the channel. And I just am so excited to be here. It's like the more I'm here, the more I love it. So thank you again. I will see you all. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.